Hello everyone. Let's see if my audio actually works this time. Hello. How's everyone doing? Ugh, I'm quiet, dang. This is as loud as my mic can go, so you all are gonna have to turn up your volume, I'm sorry. Yay, new PNG model. I'm a frog now. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I feel like I'm speedrunning breaking all of my equipment. And so my microphone is actually broken right now, so I am recording audio off of my computer, so that's why I'm so quiet. I am literally at the loudest volume I can be unless I'm like shouting into my microphone. I'm sorry guys. Okay, I'm actually gonna start reading questions now before I start drawing. Pyroben asks, how am I doing? I'm doing very good. I'm tired. I just finished work and like forgot that I was doing a stream today, so I had to like quickly draw I had to quickly draw a thumbnail. Do you want to say hi to a bunch of people online?
Some people! You are here for a fun time, bro! I want to watch you burning for fun ride!
Gosh. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm really quiet. I'm gonna buy a new microphone soon, don't worry guys. Question, can you make a video to help with doubting or being far from God? I thought that's kind of what I've been doing with my channel so far. I don't know, dude. I can, I guess. They said hi to you, by the way.
Yeah, that's what's up!
They say you're epic.
Yeah! If you like Grace, give me some turtle emojis! I don't know why turtles, but I feel like saying the turtle! Wait, oh, I love that word. I love the heart emoji. You gotta be the fun extrovert.
Yeah, they can't hear me because I'm very quiet, but they're probably hearing you just fine.
Yeah, my projection. Are you chilling?
I'm drawing and answering questions and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my roommate, people online.
With the double G, GG with the triple G. Yeah! What are you gonna draw? Can you give us a tutorial? I know you have a blank sheet.
There's a lot of turtle emojis popping up now.
Oh yeah, that's so nice to hear the Okay, so what's the vibe? What's the vibe that we're going into tonight?
I think we're asking, oh, they're getting funny emojis now.
Fun? I mentioned I said turtles.
No idea who you are, but turtle.
Thank you. It's GG with the double G. Okay, remind me, can you like talk us through what's the vibe? What's the inspiration for tonight?
My YouTube channel is a Christian art channel.
Amen.
So I do a lot of like videos with art and Christianity and explaining stuff to people.
Okay.
And so this stream was just gonna be chill. They can ask me questions and I try to answer them to the best of my ability with my very little brain's power right now.
Of course.
While I'm drawing, but I haven't started drawing yet.
What's the drawing though?
I know. Okay.
It's like it's gonna draw a line.
My computer's like dying, so.
No. That's why I had all the cords. Just need the computer to keep going.
I'm like struggling right now.
Okay.
My computer is so slow.
So I can ask you a question, right? So
if you want to.
My question is
she hired something?
No! Have you met an extrovert? I'm just very loud and fun.
Reverse ASMR.
Oh my gosh! Let me like do some
song's a DJ.
Oh yeah, totally. That's a vibe. That's a vibe. I'm trying to think. When you're with kids, like I used to work with kids, so that's why I'm like very loud and very fun and very childlike. So that's why I'm like, yo, what's up, homies? Let's have a fun time. So my question is, why Christianity out of all?
You're just gonna lead with the big
Oh,
question.
I know, it's very broad.
It's very
But
broad.
should,
A better question would be, why did I choose
Yeah,
Christianity?
why did you choose Christianity?
Okay. While my tablet is having a stroke, I'll try to answer that question.
Yeah, thank you.
I don't know why it's not working right now, but it's angry at me for some reason. Why did I choose Christianity? Probably the easiest reason is that I grew up in the church, which, you know, is kind of not a good answer, but I was raised Christian, and my parents are missionaries, and you just kind of choose it. You kind of have to go along with it. But yeah, I think growing up, I definitely wandered away from God a lot. Like, I wasn't a very good Christian kid. I wasn't the missionary kid. I was just kind of the disobedient, rebellious child. You know, good stuff. But all throughout my childhood, miracles would happen. My life would be saved in dramatic ways. Things would happen. We would see things happen. It's like, obviously, God exists. Like, there was no doubt in my mind that God exists. I don't think I've ever doubted. Well, maybe once or twice when I was, like, going through something. I'm like, is the good God I've always loved real? But I always knew there's a God because I saw crazy stuff happen. And I'm like, there's no explanation for this other than God.
Yeah.
So that cemented in my mind that there was a God, but like, developing a personal relationship with him did not happen until very recently. Yeah, I think. Oh my gosh!
Girl, leave us alone. We're having a deep conversation and roommates only.
How many
Keep
people are
going.
gonna join the stream?
Nah, I'm not.
I'll eat your breadsticks. Fine.
Okay.
Just put them by the door, please, and thank you.
Oh
Keep
gosh,
going.
I can't do anything around here. Okay.
1 second. Not entertaining the people. But keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As I mentioned in a previous video, probably everyone in the chat has watched the video because that's what kind of made me recognizable, is that the way I related to God was through understanding him and, like, apologetics and filling my mind with knowledge and just, like, knowing everything there was to know about the Christian God. But that wasn't a real relationship. It was just me knowing him. It wasn't me, like, I knew about him, I knew everything I could know about him, but I didn't know him as a friend or as a father. So that, I kind of was just always wrestling with this feeling of, like, being disconnected from God, always feeling like I was distant from him, and I was like, is there a solution for this? I'm living the most moral Christian lifestyle, I'm an apologist, I'm making YouTube videos and, like, doing cool stuff for God, but I literally feel like I have no connection between the two of us. There's nothing there. There's no relationship, and I thought that maybe what I was wanting was just something that I would get in heaven eventually. So I just kind of gave up. But then I came to America. My country kicked me out. The visa expired. I wasn't allowed to be there anymore. And I kind of just got dropped off in America and went to YWAM, the school, discipleship training school. And a lot of people kind of questioned why I wanted to go, because they're like, wow, Sierra, you're already a good Christian. You're already a missionary. What are you gonna even learn there? Like, what else do you have to learn? I'm like, I don't know. I just feel like that's where I need to go next, because I don't want to go to college yet. I remember even my dad saying, you're probably gonna be the most spiritually mature person there. So I was kind of set with this big expectation of, like, oh, I'm probably gonna be leading the other students. I'm probably gonna know the most about God than anyone else. I'm probably gonna be the most mature, you know. I'm gonna be the teacher. And as soon as I got there, I realized there is so much to God and Christianity and life in general that I have never even thought of before. And I was just absolutely humbled. Like, I remember walking to a Catholic church and God basically, like, saying, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, stop judging these people. Your theology's messed up. You fix yourself before you try to fix these people. And I'm like, oh gosh. So, more, like, I guess more critical people would say I deconstructed. That's not really what happened. What happened is that I gave up my tight grip on what I already believed and thought was true about God, and I kind of let it go and let God reteach me everything, and reread the Bible, and, like, that's what that actually means, and, you know, just kind of, like, yeah. And finally, for once in my life, I had a relationship with God. I felt him, we interacted, we talked, I could hear his voice sometimes, like, it was such a different experience. Like the knowledge was all the same, you know, God was still the same person. The Bible didn't change, but how I changed, I guess. I guess that's the main thing, is that I changed, my heart changed, and my relationship with God changed. So I got the supernatural part and I got the relationship part. So, you know, if I didn't believe in God and the Christian faith, I would just be an idiot because of how much I've seen. So yeah, that's why I've chosen Christianity.
Amen. What do people
Amen.
say? What do people
I
say?
don't, I'm not,
That's good.
oh my gosh. There's a lot of questions.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for sharing. I feel like the host now. I'm sorry
Yeah.
to take over your channel.
No, it's okay.
But what I like, and I feel like your story, like, I, at first, like, for a long time, I feel like, oh, my story's not unique because of, like, I grew up in the church, but God has, like, you know, created you, and He's created the most wonderful stories. Not like stories, but, like, true stories. Like, He's the author, He's the Omega, like, He's our Father. But the fact that, like, your story is still special to you, and that's how you have your relationship with the Lord. Even though it's like, like, bro, the fact that you were raised up in a healthy environment with other Christians and knowing the Lord earlier, because some people get to learn the Lord later, you know what I'm saying?
Much
so
later.
Just rejoice with that. I'm
Yeah.
like, God is good. I'm glad that you were able to find your relationship with the Lord for yourself. There's a difference with, like, family environments. I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
You don't have a choice to be Christian, which is not good. Bro, my drawing tablet is, like, refusing to do anything. Oh my gosh.
It was working last night.
It was. And now it's, like, super glitchy. So,
you, like, disconnected and connect?
that's not the problem right now, is that that's me trying to draw a curved line, and it's... I think it's just my computer's really slow, so...
What's one question from the people?
We might just have a talking stream without any drawing. Very sad. It's okay. I will scroll up and read the last question that I didn't... Oh my gosh. My computer's so broken. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. Oh my gosh. Everything is just breaking right now. My lord. I'll read a question and you can start answering it because I'm struggling. Oh, it's a question about me personally. Dang.
What's that one question?
What are you studying in school? Art, I assume? I'm not in school.
Huh?
Dude, I am, like, avoiding college with everything in me.
Wait. For me, college was great, bro.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, even though it was hard. But, like, I think once you figure out what you want to do, then, like, if you need a degree to pursue that, you know, that's cool. If not, then you figure out what you want to do. Which I feel like you do, but, like, also, you never know.
Yeah.
Time changes, like, you know. One day I'm gonna be a teacher and then switch to
Gasp.
crazy.
Oh, that's also right. I should explain a little bit more about, oh my gosh, more about you, is that you are doing the graphic, you're doing the art dream.
I'm doing,
Well,
yes.
at least my art dream.
Yes. We can say that. I'm just gonna say what the Lord has provided. I was all kinds with kids. Like, bro, I'm doing an introvert job for an extrovert. It's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
It's
that's fair.
Really quick, is me in college halfway through when I was trying to apply for classes. The Lord was like, no more education classes. I'm like, what? That was my dream. Like, bro, be a second grade teacher, be with kids. Why are you closing that door? I still don't know why. But he closed that door, bro, to help me grow in an area that I hadn't touched in a while of, like, doing graphic design. Girl, I touched it in middle school, in grade school. I was like, man, this is hard. But the Lord really worked with me and, like, provided the right professors and the teachers to help me grow in that area of graphic design. You know what I'm saying? So once I got into that, it was a rough transition of, like, what did the Lord wanted me to do as a career path. Because I, like, you know, my dreams went this way, but he had another plan for me. So I literally have to surrender and be like, okay, I'm going to do graphic design. So I decided doing it. I pursued. I got a degree this past semester, so I post-college. So now the fact that I can work for a Christian ministry
Mm-hmm.
is really cool. To be
Yeah.
able to do design for others, like the fact that let's just say you need a poster to communicate something. I'm like, bro, I
Mm-hmm.
can help think what you want and then actually have it come to life to help think of others in a Christ-like way. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my spiel
That's
for
nice.
now. That's my
That's very cool.
so
Thank you
cool.
for not doxing me. Because
Huh?
they're not supposed to know where we work. Girl, I was like scared you're gonna say, and I'm like,
No, TMI.
I'm like,
It's a Christian ministry,
it's a Christian ministry. It's very cool.
so
In a lot of different fields, and I'm working in freaking culinary.
Hey, that is still bringing glory to the Lord.
I am. I serve the Lord macaroni and cheese.
Yeah.
Where in the world am I? I'm in Kentucky, and that's all you'll get to know.
Yep. Yep.
The
Hey,
sweet
where
land
you
of
from?
chicken.
That girlfriend, that boyfriend, oh gosh.
What's your opinion on science when it comes to Christianity? Well, I don't know how much I can say on
I
that without
think-
doxing myself.
No, so this is like one thing is with everyone has different passions with different things.
Yeah.
For me specifically, whatever the Bible says, no, I'm joking. I believe science does exist, okay?
Yeah.
It's like dinosaurs. Are dinosaurs real?
Girl, what are you saying? Where are you
Dinosaurs
working?
real. I'm just saying, like, they're in evolution. That's a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Is some people are
That's
bro,
stupid.
there's bones.
They're bones in the ground.
No, but
How
I
do we
feel
fake
like
those?
Science is really cool when it comes to Christianity. Like, yo, you know, like there's so many things.
Mhm.
If you're very passionate for me, that's not my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't. Do you like science?
I love science.
Oh, you can answer this for
Yeah.
me. I'm like,
I think the simplest answer is that I believe what the Bible says unequivocally because it's a Bible and it's because it's God's word. But I also believe that science confirms the Bible. So like the Bible is my my altogether authority. So it's not like science proves the Bible and that's why I believe the Bible. It's because science, you know, what I'm trying to say is like it works one way, not the
it
other
makes
way.
sense, it makes
Yeah.
sense. But I'm not like for me specifically.
That's
I'm
not your
gonna
passion.
Elevate
Yeah.
science over the Bible. And
Right,
the
that's
Bible
never
will
gonna happen.
Have every single answer. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like it gives you what we need. That's why God provides everything that He wants us to learn in that Bible.
Mhm.
It's like, or ultimately, is Jesus at the end of the day? We shouldn't be worried about like our where we stand with Jesus, because
Mhm.
we as humans we will never know every little thing.
Right. It's not for us to know.
No,
Right.
but He does provide that.
Yeah.
No, that's different passions for different things.
Yeah.
So you have fun with this live stream. I hope you can figure out that.
Yeah.
Oh, bro. Oh gosh.
Thank you for
Okay, of course.
getting me
anytime.
hyped. I was like tired.
Oh, tired.
I know, I was like, I'm not gonna survive the next 2 hours.
Girl! Oh my goodness, change the music up or something. Do some Taylor Swift.
No.
Ask the people. Oh, God.
That's how you get demonetized.
The end. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Let me see if I can find the next question. I'm so behind. What denomination are you and apologetics bad? I don't like to sort myself into a denomination. I don't even want to say non-denominational because even that has like, girl, why are they so loud? Dang. Yo, I can hear you. Okay.
I know.
Thanks. Okay. I don't like to associate myself with a denomination because I just feel like there shouldn't be denominations, honestly. I feel like Christians should just get along and believe what the Bible says. But if I were to, like, I guess my beliefs most align with a mix between charismatic and Baptist, which is kind of an interesting mix because they're kind of on the opposite ends of the spectrum. But I just love how the Baptists, like, they revere the Bible and, like, that's their final authority. And I just love how in touch with God's spirit the charismatics are and, like, how much they just, you know, pray and ask for miracles and just believe anything can happen. So I feel like I'm a mix of both of those. Yeah. I'm sorry, Blossoming Art, that I wasn't answering your questions. I did not expect the chaos that entered the room. I did not expect my roommate to be a part of this stream. But it's fun. I'm hyped now. I'm alive, and she did actually help me answer some questions. So sorry about that. Who's in the background of the picture? This is a painting I did for my official YouTube theme song. And I just absolutely love this art piece, so that's why I keep on reusing it. I don't know how I did so well on it, but I still love it, and I haven't gotten tired of it yet, so. Bye, Blossoming. What kind of stories do you plan to work on? I don't entirely know what you mean by that question. But currently I'm writing some, like, fiction stories, just for fun. I don't really know if I'm ever gonna publish them or even share them online. But I do like writing fiction. I especially like writing romance. It's just my weakness, even though I've never dated anyone in my life or even been in a relationship at all. But I just love writing romance and fiction and fantasy, a little bit of sci-fi sometimes. I'm still, like, struggling with sci-fi because it's a lot of, like, things you actually have to know. You have to, like, look stuff up to be able to write sci-fi. Bellamates, I'm always up for a collab. That is, girl, you are, like, the OG collab, so you know what? Whatever you want to do, I will do with you. Are you a writer? This part one, depending on if you say yes or no. I'm a writer and an artist. I am a writer, kind of. I enjoy writing, but I don't publish my stuff. I think I just said that like 5 seconds ago, but yes. Is it crossing to Kentucky? No, and even if it was, I wasn't gonna tell you, Blossom. Dang, girl. Where's my 15 grand, Frog? I'm not gonna pay you, Ezio. Bro. Continuing from my point, science is meant to glorify God, understanding and learning how things work. To be curious about our God's reasoning for why things are, that's kind of it, really. I think science is definitely a form of worship. Like, exploring everything that God has put into creation, I think is a form of worship, because you're appreciating everything that he's done, which is really cool. I definitely have experienced, like, feeling the Holy Spirit while I was studying science and stuff. I'd be like, especially when we did a course in my A&P class about, like, babies and stuff and, like, how fetuses develop and that kind of thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, God, you are crazy. Like, all the things you put in a human being to make sure they survive. Yeah. God gives Frog extroverted roommate. Yeah. I have 2 housemates, and both of them are extroverts, and I love them, but I am overwhelmed sometimes. It's crazy. I'm very introverted. Thank you, random guy. Thank you for loving my content. Okay, see you later, Primordial. What's the best way for someone who's older that didn't learn art in their childhood learn art? Tutorials, tips, tricks. I get this question a lot because obviously I'm an artist, so people are like, how did you learn how to do art? Well, not necessarily as an older person, I wouldn't know because I'm still very young. But I would say just draw what you love to draw. I think the number one struggle for me with art is I don't have the motivation it takes to, like, continue studying and, like, practicing, so I will go several days to even, like, weeks without drawing, and it's a really bad practice, and I feel like I could be improving a whole lot more if I had the motivation to draw. So make sure whatever you're drawing you love, or you have a goal that you love. So, like, when you're practicing anatomy, it may not be fun, but you know that at the end of your practice session, you'll be able to draw your characters better, or you'll be able to, like, animate something better. You know, like, make sure that you're passionate about what you do, and that way you will continue to practice it. And practice will just, like, happen naturally. Like, you'll enjoy just drawing and practicing, so it'll be easy for you. I think another thing is to find artists that you just really like their art. Yeah, I personally really love Sam Does Arts on YouTube. I really love his style and just how he colors things and how quick his process is. Like, he has a certain, like, shading and coloring process that takes him about 30 minutes, and it's just crazy what he can do in that amount of time. So I I learn from him. Mostly I just study art I find on Pinterest and like try to do what these artists have done, and like I'm like, oh, I really like how they did this, so I want to be able to do it too. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on this question. I hope that helps. Slave labor still alive and well, it seems. You know what, Ezio? Just relax, bro. Do you get subscribers often doing live streams? I don't actually. Last live stream I did, I actually like lost 5 subscribers. I don't know what happened there, but I was like 1 away from 12,000 subscribers, and then when I like checked my subscriber count after the stream, it was like 12 away. So I lost a few last stream. That's not why I stream though. I don't get subscribers from streams hardly at all, because it's usually just people that know me that are tuning in. I just like, the reason why I do live streams is just because I like hanging out with you guys, honestly. And it's just fun, and it's not really it's not really like a very good business strategy for me right now is to spend time streaming, but I just really enjoy it. That's why I stream. You can see on your YouTube studio page and stuff, like what people watch, what your viewers watch. So the 3 options are like long form videos, shorts, and streams. And I think it's like 20% of the people that watch my content also watch streams. So it's not a lot of people that would actually like tune in. So it's not like, yeah, I don't get any subscribers from streaming. What made you decide to go to America? I'm an American citizen, so it was just the easiest option, I guess. And I have some family, like extended family in the States. And I'm really I did spend some of my childhood here, so I am a little bit familiar with the country. It's like not entirely a new experience for me. I don't know. It was just kind of like the obvious decision, especially since my parents are going to be moving back to the States once they like finish their mission work and that kind of thing. So it was just an obvious choice to move to America. Okay, see you, Pyro. How could you have slaves? It's a joke. Ezio is my server mod, but he basically runs my Discord server mod, but he basically runs Discord and honestly helps me with a lot of stuff. So he's the true mastermind behind the Frog Pollen channel. So, but he is not paid at all, and he won't stop whining about it. So I'm also broke, so you cannot blame me for not paying him. I hope to create Christian content just like you. That's super cool. That's really awesome. I love seeing people do, I don't know, it's like a weird thing. It's like I love people copying what I do and then figuring out how to do it their own way, because I don't really want like 100 frog pollens out there. I really want like 100 of individuals doing what they love and doing it well and like making quality Christian content, but like everyone doing something different, but all kind of the same umbrella. I don't know. I just really love seeing people get inspired by my stuff. That might sound a little bit conceited or like prideful, but I just really love seeing people like inspired to do their own thing by seeing me do my own thing, I guess. Burlex King Baldwin, that's cringe. I don't know what's going on anymore. Would you ever do animation? I do animation every now and then. I'm actually working on 2 animation projects right now. They just take me a really, really long time because I'm not very familiar with animation. I never like sat down and like took time to just study animation. But it is something that I would love to get into in the future, just because it's really cool to be able to bring your drawings to life and like tell stories. I don't know, I don't have the patience for it, I don't think. I really want to be able to finish what I'm working on in one sitting and not have to like come back to it later. And that's not really possible with animation because you're drawing like 50 drawings at least per animation. Yes. Any favorite video games? Minecraft is definitely the top of my list, just because I love playing it with friends and there's a lot of different things you can do. It's like very accommodating to artists. I'm just really bad at video games. That doesn't mean I dislike them. I'm just really bad at most video games. So at a certain point I reach a limit and I'm like, I'm never gonna win this game. I'm never gonna do well. I'm just frustrated at this point, and then I'll stop playing it. But Minecraft, you know, there's not really a real end goal. And I can just build stuff and have fun with friends, and it's like very accommodating to people who are not good at video games, I guess. Of course there is a side to it that you need to be good at, but I usually just ignore that part. Have you ever had an art project or ideas that you liked but felt like it didn't reflect God? Or probably. I think a lot of the stuff, like a lot of the books I'm writing and like stories I'm working on, don't really have a lot to do with Christianity. I think that's one of the main reasons why I don't publish a lot of what I do, and it's just for fun. Is because, you know, there's no like direct tie to God, or I don't even know. I don't know how to express this well, I guess. I don't feel like there isn't any God in the story, and there's nothing to do with religion or anything. That's not to say that like my morals are weird and whack in these stories. I actually do like sometimes will write like very, very veiled like parallels to Christianity and stuff. Like anytime a church comes up in what I write, it's obviously something to do with God. And I want to make a point about that, but I'm trying to get to the point where I can write fiction and romance stories and still like write it from a Christian lens, I guess. I don't know. That's one thing I wish I could like incorporate God a little bit better into. But something my mentor told me in high school, he's like, just write stuff that honors God, even if it doesn't say his name. Just write stuff that honors him, like include Christian morals and like teach more good lessons that you would find in the Bible and stuff. So I appreciate that advice. I feel like a lot of my original characters, their stories are pretty similar to that. It's like they're not really like overtly Christian, so I don't really spend a lot of time on. You see my original characters maybe once or twice on my channel, if that. But they all have like their own complex stories and history, and I have drawn them probably like 500 times. But I don't share them online, I guess, just because of that reason, is that I don't feel like it really fits Christianity very well. I don't know, that might change in the future as I get more confident in that kind of thing. I like pie. I like some pies. When you get to Florida, close enough so we can do a Bible study and some art. I can't think of any questions. I would love to go to Florida. Actually, I might do a little road trip sometime in the future and just visit a lot of online friends. Doesn't sound like he deserves to be paid anyways. Being broke is so relatable, yeah, for real. I have some money now, but the main problem right now is that if I buy a better computer or better equipment, I don't really have anywhere to put it right now because I'm in a very small dorm room. And I'm not really allowed to have a private computer here. Whatever you say, PC. What does drawing a pyramid mean from your video on how to hear God's voice? I think, are you referring to like where I was like, sometimes I hear God say words and sometimes I see pictures, and like the little drawing I did for that was like me imagining, I think I imagined like a desert or something. I don't remember. I remember in the moment I was like, what do I even put on this drawing? What do I draw here to show something that I've seen happen before? And like every idea had left my mind, so I was like, God, just show me a picture right now. And that was the picture I got, I think, was pyramids in a desert. And I forgot to ask him like, what does this mean? It's just a thing, it's just there. Favorite restaurant, favorite food? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I don't eat out a lot. Mostly because I don't have a car. I don't know, actually. I'm not a huge food person. My favorite food, probably like Asian, like sushi or something like that, or like any Asian food, honestly. I really just love like Japanese and Chinese food. It's all very good. More Chinese than Japanese. I feel like Chinese food has a little bit more flavor to it. I also have like fallen in love with Korean food because of some Korean friends I've made, even though it's like so spicy and I nearly die every time I eat it. Animation is a worthy discipline. It is, I just don't have the time for it. What's your favorite music genre? I really love like indie folk, rock, pop, whatever, you know, that category, just like indie. I really love like gremlincore, I think is what they call it. It's like foresty vibes and just chill, but also kind of like nostalgic and melancholy a little bit. Yeah, I love a few pop songs, actually, like really popular songs, like anything by Jake. I honestly am just absolutely in love with, like JVKE. I don't know. yeah, that's all I can think of at the top of my head. I really love like worship songs that are kind of written like pop songs or like super high energy and like dance music. Kind of like oh my gosh, Josiah Queen, I think is his name. Forrest, whatever his name is. Something Forrest. I don't remember. Can you help me develop a story? I'm trying to make a Christian. Sure, but not in the stream. You can message me later, or I can message you about it. Or, yeah, something like that. We can talk about it later. Who's your whiniest mod and why is it Ezio? We're just good friends, I think. We're just silly. We're just silly like that. I would never treat a stranger as badly as I treat Ezio. I think I'm allowed to be mean to him just because we're friends. Can you help me to develop a dystopian Christian story? I need a point of view that's more modern, I guess. Sure. Again, message me. Food is so good. All this food sounds so good. Yeah. How can I spread Christianity or set a good example as a Christian even if my content isn't mainly about Christianity but other random topics? I think this is like a difficult question for me because, bro, the amount of times I've been asked this question in the past and not been able to answer it, I've been like, I don't know, dude, just ask God. I think that's really the gist of it, is that everyone's walk of life is going to be different, especially on YouTube, because it's such an individualistic website. You really just need to ask God about your personal situation and just be like, God, what do you want? What do you want me to do? He might change your mind on what your channel theme is. He might do a lot of things to change your mind, but I think it's just really important to ask God first. Yeah. I do like Newsboys. I don't know if I've listened to anything that they knew about them, but I really love their older songs that I kind of like grew up hearing because it's nostalgic for me, I guess. Hi Sunbee! Welcome to the stream! Yeah, I love Jake too. You know that I love Christian rap, yeah. I still am not 100% behind Christian rap, but I appreciate like the thought. I just don't like rap. Drawing a 3D painting is difficult. Yeah, definitely. I don't know if you mean like actual like 3D program or like trying to make your drawing look 3D. Either way is very hard and I cannot do either one. Forrest Frank, yes. Oh my gosh, I like blanked. I've been listening to his music like for 2 weeks straight and I still can't remember his name. Do you have a favorite movie? Currently, gosh, I really love like some of the newer animated movies that have come out, like the actual good ones, kind of like the new Puss in Boots movie, the Inside Out 2 movie. I actually watched in the Middle East when I was on a missions trip there, and that was really good. Yeah, I think my favorite movie right now is Puss in Boots. I don't remember what the actual like name of the movie is, but the new animated one. I just really love the art and the style, and just even the story was really good and the morals were really good. I just really enjoyed that movie. I'm not a huge movie person either, I guess. I mean, I will watch movies with friends just because that's how they like to hang out, but I don't just like go out of my way to watch movies, I guess. Worst artist that you've ever seen? Bro, you should see some of my old art. Like when I was a kid, it was awful. I was like learning how to draw from a manga book, like how to draw manga, I think was the name of the book. And I kind of like just skipped the fundamentals of like anatomy and shading and stuff and just kind of like, I can do this without knowing how to do that stuff, and it was horrible. It was pretty bad. Love your videos, keep it up. Thank you. That's sweet. Hi Caitlin. 100% you and Ezzy have legendary banter. Thanks, Server Dad. Hi Jojo. I'm doing good. I am tired, but I'm also having fun right now, so that's good. I think you drew something else and I explained the meaning as something during your day, but I tried that video and quickly drew a simple pyramid shape that wasn't relevant to anything I remember. I don't really know what you're talking about, I'm sorry. I don't really understand the question, I'm sorry. I think it depends greatly on how you intend to use YouTube. It defaults to being quite individualistic. But for example, I intend to use YouTube as a mean to establish community and connection. That's true. And I've kind of done that too, especially for the last few weeks, that it's more of a community and a relationship now than just me yapping, even though I do a lot of yapping still. My drawing looks 3D, feels like I'm unlocking a new part of my brain. Your art, I haven't seen your art, but I'm sure it's great. I don't know how to make my art look 3D. I am very much a 2D artist. Do you use your refrigerator to stream? I mean, honestly, a smart refrigerator would be better at this point. Bro, my poor computer is like screaming at me right now. It's like so hot. Do you like cats? I love cats. That is probably my second favorite animal in the world. I just love little cats. I actually, over the course of my childhood, I think my family's owned over 16 cats in total, and most of those decisions were my fault because I just absolutely love cats. I collect them. Why are you so nice to Ezio? You should fire him, honestly. You know, if I could, I would, honestly. He's just really hard to get rid of. Do you like dogs? I'm gonna offend like everyone, but I do not like dogs. They can be sweet and they can be really cute, but the number one thing that I just do not like about dogs is how they can be very clingy, but also the way they smell. I think if they smelled like cats smell, I would totally like love dogs, but I just cannot stand the smell. Like, especially when they're dirty and gross, but like even just normal smell, like dog smell, is just so bad. I hate it. But I can understand why people love dogs because they're really sweet and they're very loyal. I guess I'm just like a very like smells like really impact me, I guess. So that's the only reason why really is they stink. The Last Wish, yeah, that's the name of it. Such a good movie. Hello, Cargo. I do the same thing but without anatomy, yeah. I've been wanting to get into drawing, but I don't really have the concentration or conviction to sit down and begin. Any suggestions? If there's like, I think a good suggestion would be to draw fan art. If there's like a series or movie or like, I don't know, anything, honestly, YouTubers that you just really love and you just kind of want to draw like funny moments or characters from that show or something, just that would be a good motivator is because you're already like doing something you love, is like fangirling, whatever, over a media that you really like, and then you get to sit down and practice drawing while you're at it. So I would suggest that, like, find something you really love and start drawing fan art. Yeah. Are you making a video with Christian Blue? Maybe. It may be taking longer than I was hoping it to be because I've been really lazy recently and have done no video editing, but she will be featured in my next video. Hi, Bread Panda. What is your favorite Christian art piece that you have made? There was this art piece a long time ago on this YouTube channel. It was one of the speed paints I did for my videos back when I like would just do speed paints for videos instead of like actually editing them. And it's this guy like clutching his burning heart as he's walking down the street, and there's like angel wings around him and stuff. I really love that piece still, even though it was so long ago and like I could do it better now. I just really love the way it looks and like the vibe and stuff. I also really love like why I drew it. I just was feeling like, bro, I would have like these brief moments of passion back then. Just kind of like a little taste of what I would be experiencing in DTS. I'm just like, wow, I really want to serve God. I want to be like a missionary. I want to be an apologist. I just want to do things for God. I just feel like on fire for God in that moment, and I just wanted to like express that feeling of just kind of like this burning like golden heart with like the light is pouring out because the heart can't contain the light anymore. So I really like that drawing. I'm still drawing it. I maybe post it on here. And YouTube influencer Kira come. Wait, no, it's from this. Okay. Question, yeah, it's about a video. How do you grab the voice? I know what video you're talking about. I just didn't understand what question you were asking. Frog, what have you done? I'm sorry. I I just am not a dog person. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe I'll meet a dog in the future. I'll just be like, it'll just click and I'll be like, oh god, I love this creature so much. But every dog I've met, I just am not a huge fan of, I guess. But I haven't met a lot of dogs, so who knows. I don't care to have pets. That's fair, honestly. It's kind of like having another person in your house, except they can't talk. What kind of stories do you make? Example, mine fall into sci-fi, superhero, apocalyptic. Mostly fantasy, like historical fantasy, or I don't know, just like the fantasy genre. I have one story that's modern and I think 3 that are sci-fi, but those are I really do not like writing modern. The only reason why I would ever write modern is because it's about like a culture or an environment I'm not used to. Like if I, for one example, like if I wrote about Asia or I wrote even about like life in American City or something like that, that would interest me because I do not know, I don't experience that day to day, I guess. I don't like sci-fi. I mentioned this earlier on the stream. It's because it takes a lot of research to be able to write it well. And like actually sound like you know what you're talking about, which I can't do. I just like hate researching things like that. I would just rather like make my own world and my own like concepts and like, you know, just make it all up myself. What was one Papua New Guinean thing of any category that you wish was everywhere? I don't know. I think that like the only thing I can think of is the snacks. We had like this brand of snack called Twisties, and it's kind of like, I forget what they're called here. They're like the Cheetos, but they're more crunchy than like the air puffed ones. They're like little really ones, like little wrinkly ones. That's what we had there, except they were much better, and they had like 50 different flavors, and they're just really cool. They're called Twisties. I think I already said that, but those should be everywhere. I miss those so much. Yo, where's my Ezio hater at? Hi, Candy! Will you ever make tutorials? I don't think so. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think I ever will make tutorials on how to do art. I feel like there's a lot of people you can watch out there on how to do art, and it's not necessary for me to teach people how to do art. And I also am really bad at teaching people art in real life and online, because I've like tried in the past to teach people how to draw, and I'm like, I don't even know how to start. I feel like I just end up judging someone like, oh, your art's awful, good, and then I never actually tell them how to fix it. The closest I would ever get to like tutorials is maybe like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, they were like popular like last year-ish, like roasting my viewers' art, those kind of things. That sounds like just a fun like thing, just like commenting on your guys' art and like how you could do better. That would be fun for me to do. Oh yeah, count me a hater. Did you ever have a nightmare or problematic roommate? I had a problematic roommate when I was at YWAM, but it was tolerable. Gosh, I just died. She was just a little bit difficult to get along with, that was all. That was the worst of it, and it was fine. I'm a pretty chill person like that. I can get along with pretty much anyone, so it wasn't a big deal. I don't get nightmares, but I do talk in my sleep, and I think that that's probably bothered my roommates before. When I'm like stressed out, I will like shout in my sleep, like I will say something really loudly. I don't know if I've been doing that at all lately. I do know my last roommate said that I would like wake up in the middle of the night and say, I love you, like multiple times in a row. So that's fun. I've done that. How'd you come up with your character design? It took a long time. There was a good like 4 or 5 months between the last video I posted on my old channel, No Excuses, and like the I'm starting a new channel video I posted recently. And the first few months I was just kind of recovering from burnout, because I was like, where do I go from here? I don't really know what I want to do. I was really like involved in YWAM and DTS and not really like having a lot of chance to do stuff online. But at a certain point I just started like, I could do this better now. Probably I just started thinking I could do this better now. It was just kind of like I I was just kind of like beating up my old self. But then I'm like, even the art I could do better. I could make a better character design. And then I started like sketching things out, and it was like a few months of just like slowly working up like, that's what the antenna mean, and this is what that little swirly mark in the forehead means, and like making sure every part of the character design like had a special meaning and like a reason for being there. And then I realized I was like, hey, this is actually kind of fun. What if I started YouTube again? Because at that point I was like, I'm just done. I'm never gonna do this again. I'm tired of YouTube. I don't think it's what God has for me. But at that point I was like, what if I just tried it again? Like, just gave it another try. And I started praying about it because it's an important decision to go back to something that had made me burn out so badly. And I just felt like, I don't know, I kind of, what I heard from God is like, it wouldn't hurt to try. So I put out the I'm restarting my YouTube channel video, and I think it got 1,000 views on its own. Which was like really exciting for me back then, because about the average of views I would get on all my videos is about 300 or less. So 1,000 views on a video was crazy for me. I was like, whoa, that's cool. And so then in DTS we did a Spirit and Truth teaching, and I was like, wow, this really resonates with me. And I discovered that it's actually kind of my heart message, is that the two sides of the church need to be united, and like that's an important part of being a Christian, is you need both the Spirit and the truth. And so it's like, why don't I just make a video on this really quickly? I kind of scrambled to get it done because we were leaving on a missions trip to the Middle East a few days afterwards. I finally got it done, I posted it, and I was like, okay, cool, I guess that's out now. And it blew up. It was crazy. But yeah, it wasn't like, I don't know, I didn't mean to start YouTube. I've gone off on a rabbit trail. I didn't mean to start YouTube again. It was just kind of like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to see if I can improve. And then all of a sudden I was popular, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm doing this now. Is there beef lore I want in? It's just Ezio. In the ending of the video, you ask God to show an image and draw it and decipher meaning from it. Well, my attempt would seem kind of meaningless. Thanks for putting up with these. Oh, so you drew something and you didn't feel like God told you what it meant. It was just a picture. What is your opinion on lukewarm Christians? I know this one can be heated, so feel free to skip. As someone who has been a lukewarm Christian, I have a lot of grace for them. I feel like the religion climate in America is it's not easy to be a passionate Christian here, I don't think, because it's really easy just to get sucked into your daily life to like day-to-day life things. Like, you go to work, you come home, you make dinner, you go to bed. Like, every day is the same. It's really easy just to forget that there's more to life than that. Also, you know, religion is kind of normal here. I mean, it's becoming less and less like that because people are falling away from the faith, and new churches are rising up, and new people are coming to the faith. But America has a huge like history of religion and Christianity and stuff, so I don't really blame anyone for being a lukewarm Christian. I do feel really bad for them though, because most of the time they don't even know what they're missing. Like, a relationship with Jesus becomes a chore instead of something that you enjoy and you just have a lot of fun with. So yeah, I feel like I am a part of my mission, a part of what God has put on my heart, especially for right now, is helping people that have kind of like lost that passion and lost the fire for God and lost like the spirit part of Christianity. But I don't judge them at all, like not in the slightest, because it's really not their fault. And honestly, they don't even know what's wrong most of the time, is what I've seen. What's your aesthetic? Definitely gremlincore, cottagecore, forest, getting lost in the woods, rainy day, you know, greens, browns, darker colors, earth tones. But I really like hyperpop too. I don't ever really do art with hyperpop, but I really love the way it looks. Yeah, there's this whole backstory of Ezio trying to overthrow Frog. I'm just trying to maintain democracy. He's already overthrown me. I'm not in control of the Discord server anymore. Crunchy Cheetos. Yes. Wait, what's the best artist to learn from YouTube-wise? I'm so behind on questions. I'm so sorry, guys. I will get to them eventually. Oh my gosh. I haven't, like, watched any YouTube tutorials in a long time. I mentioned Sam Does Art earlier. I really like his art, but he's not the easiest person to learn from. Mostly because his style is very like cemented. Like it's really hard to apply what he teaches you to your own style. He just kind of teaches you how to copy himself, but his art is really beautiful. So I would recommend watching his videos and just like learning how he does certain things. I don't remember if that's the Mark Rober. No, that's the name of a different guy. That's a different famous YouTuber. Anyways, I don't remember any YouTubers. I'm sorry, guys. I think the best one is one that you like the art of. Like, make sure the person you're learning from, you enjoy their art, like how their art looks. Oh, Blue Biscuits is a good person to learn from. She does really good art tutorials. I know you're not as much of a gamer as you said earlier, but do you like Zelda? It's my personal favorite when it comes to fantasy, and I was actually going to feature Christianity originally. I actually love like Breath of the Wild. My friend let me and my brother borrow his Nintendo Switch for a while, and I was like obsessed with that game. Like I played it every free moment I got for like 2 months, to the point where like my mom was concerned. She's like, "Okay, Sierra, that's enough." But I absolutely loved that game. I was terrible at it, but I just loved it. I loved the open world. I loved just the different things you could do. I especially loved cooking. I don't know why. I just like leaned into cooking so much to like find the perfect food, and like my brother would be like, "What are you doing?" I would go on like hour quests to find the right ingredient for stuff. Um but I haven't played a lot of the other Zelda games, but I really love the lore behind them. I grew up playing Skyward Sword, but I had like a broken game, so I wasn't able to get past like the first area ever. Um I love the music. The music's great. I think like Legend of Zelda is definitely my vibe. I wish I could play it more. I don't have a lot of time for playing video games. But if I did, I would definitely play like more Legend of Zelda. Yeah. How did you make a change in your walk with Christ? I find myself struggling to stay consistent. I made a change in my life, like a big change in my life, like moving countries, being alone, away from my family, um, being forced to do things on my own really like put me in the mindset of like, okay, I'm a different person now. Things need to change. And I just kind of completely immersed myself into a community that kind of reflected the person I wanted to be. Like YMDTS. I was scared at first and like, what are these crazy people doing? What are they doing dancing in church? That's blasphemous. And then at a certain point, I realized these people are so in love with Christ that it doesn't matter what people think about them. It doesn't matter what they do. They're gonna do it for God's glory. Like they don't care. And I'm like, I want that. I want that so badly. I want to be in love with Christ so much that I'm just not scared about what anyone thinks about me. So I just kind of fully immersed myself into like, yeah, I just surrounded myself with people that were who I wanted to be. Like they were at the place in a relationship with God that I wanted to be at. Yeah. Thoughts on doing a video about using your creativity for God's glory and advancing His kingdom? That is a video I've wanted to do since my old channel. Like that has been something I wanted to do. I don't feel like I'm ready yet. I don't know if you're asking whether I want to do it or whether you should do it, because I feel like you should totally do it if you have an idea. Just go for it. Honestly, that's my number one like piece of advice for people like, how do I start YouTube videos or how do I start making YouTube videos? It's like, just do it. Just do whatever you can right now, and you will get better naturally as time goes on. But yeah, that's one of the videos that I'm like saving until I can do it a little bit better in the future. Yeah. Candy and Ezra are rivals in the show Based Warriors. Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, I swap teams a lot. Hi, Vesper. Have you ever gotten commissions? Are they open? They're not officially open, but if someone asks me and I have time to do it, I usually say yes. I've never really actually like gotten it. Most of the time when people ask me and I say yes, it's like, okay, I just wanted to know. I'll talk to you about it in the future, and then they never get back to me. I don't think I've ever actually like done a real commission, like actual like draw your character commission. I've drawn like some promotional stuff for a company in the past. That was a nightmare. I never want to do that again. Um, that's like a different story, but I don't know. If you ask me and message me and like I have time to do it, I will probably say yes. Shout out young Christian artists. I'm not great though. I don't know why you said that's a question, but one of the dreams I have for my channel is to feature smaller Christian YouTubers. Because I watched this video and it said if a smaller YouTuber is really like featured on a bigger YouTuber's like video or something like that, that's actually really good for them. They get exposure and they get a lot of subscribers from that. So one of the things I want to do eventually when I figure out how to balance my life and YouTube is to get like smaller YouTubers into my videos and then like promote them. But the downside to that is I'm gonna have to be like really picky because I really do want to. I want to promote like excellence, not just every Christian YouTuber who asked me to do a video with them. I want to be like, okay, you actually have good quality content, and I want to share this with people. And that sounds really mean, but I don't know, dude. I feel like it's like a good goal to set is that if you get to a certain point, I'll be like, yes, totally, I'll do a video with you. But I want you to be able to like, I want you to be comfortable in your niche first. Like, I want you to be able to find what you love to do and how you do it well. And you don't have to be perfect at it. You don't even need to be good at editing. You don't need to have a consistent upload schedule. I just want you to be comfortable in what you do. I'm ignoring Ezzy's questions from now on. Do you do any drawing collaborations? I might. Again, I'm a very busy person, so those kind of questions you're just gonna have to like message me privately about. Um, and I'll get back to you on my availability for those kind of things. I'm not gonna say yes or no here because I don't really want to get swamped with a bunch of requests. If that happens, I don't know. I don't know how popular I am. How would you find good Christian friends if it's hard to be around people? I guess force yourself to be uncomfortable. Like being uncomfortable isn't a bad thing. I will like I mentioned, I'm a huge introvert, so when I have free time, I really just want to be by myself in my room on my computer. Like that's what I love to do. That's how I decompress. Um, Before I went to YWAM, I was much worse. I don't know if it was like social anxiety or what, but I just hated talking to people. Like it would be a good day if I never said a word, if I never spoke. I just hated talking to people. I was super shy. I hated myself, honestly. I just could not stand the I guess I had like a twisted version of what other people saw me as in my head, and I hated that about myself. I just do not like did not like how people saw me. Um, but I just forced myself because I was living in a community. I was living in a small little hippie commune with a bunch of Christians. I had to spend every day of my life with them, every minute. I wasn't really alone, and it was so good for me. You would not believe how much I learned just from that, just being forced to spend time with Christians. Um, so yeah, I guess that would be my piece of advice: is it's okay to be uncomfortable. Like push your bounds of what you think you can do. You may hate it to begin with. I definitely did. I definitely hated spending that much time with people, but it was so good for me. Um, yeah, I guess it's like allow yourself to grow. Give yourself some space to grow in that. Um, it's great to see an artist who follows Christ. Thank you. Opinion on AI art, AI in the workplace. I feel kind of guilty, but I do not have strong opinions about AI art. Um, Mostly because I don't do commissions myself. So like it's not like I'm not losing money from AI, I guess. So it's a very selfish answer, I suppose, but it doesn't bother me. I will sometimes like mess around with AI stuff just to like see like, oh, I wonder how advanced it is and can it do this and can it be creative like this? And sometimes even the art I study is AI because I just really like that like the characteristic like AI style is something that's really pretty to me, and I'm like, I want to be able to draw like that. It's probably really bad for me to say that online on a stream, but I personally don't have a huge problem with it, but I completely understand why artists do, and I don't. Yeah, I definitely like back people who don't want AI art to be a thing anymore. Um, yeah. But I also saw it coming. Like, it wasn't a surprise this is gonna happen eventually. Like, people have been talking about artificial intelligence since, like, the 70s. So, like, it wasn't a huge surprise that this is a thing now. And I also feel like eventually artists are gonna figure out how to coexist and people are gonna calm down about the topic and it's not gonna be a big deal anymore. What's your favorite way to use a W as in the letter? Oh my gosh, why would you? I'm not gonna do it on stream. I'm not gonna say the accursed word on stream. What's the ugliest artist style in your opinion? Not an artist in particular, just an art style. I don't like it when artists shade with like black or like a color close to black. Like it could be like a gothic style, I guess, and it can be done well. But even like the stylistic choice, I just don't like the way it looks. It makes people like look dead, and just like environments look dead and like lifeless. And I guess that's kind of like what they're going for in a lot of cases. Um, but I guess yeah, just art that looks lifeless, that looks like no emotion there. That's my least favorite kind of art style, I suppose. Hi, Venzula. Aw, thank you. You're very cool too, I'm sure. Mark Rober's a national scientist. I love him. Okay, I'm so behind on questions. This is crazy. Have you ever written any story like the idea of doing your own world? I've never like finished a story, but I have like a world where a bunch of my stories come from. And it's not completely world built, but it's pretty close to being finished. And I know, yeah, it's a thing. It's a project. What's wrong with dancing in church? Didn't one of the prophets literally dance before the Ark of Covenant back? David danced before the Lord when he got the Ark of Covenant back. There's nothing wrong with dancing before the Lord. I do it. It's just back then, I didn't, ever experience that before. And I'm like, wow, they're being so disrespectful in church. This is crazy. And now I do it myself. There's nothing wrong with it. I was just judgmental. I was not promoting Nike. What's your favorite movie? I answered this earlier, so I'm not gonna answer it again. I'm sorry if you weren't in the stream when I answered it earlier. Where'd Ghosty go? The person who was so based. Why do you like frogs? I've been waiting so long for someone to ask me this because it's not the reason why you'd expect it to be. Um, so I'm gonna tell another long story that's gonna take about 30 minutes for me to finish, and then I'm gonna be behind the questions again. Um, so when I was a kid, it was like a matter of pride for me to like be very easy to give gifts to. Because my brother would always like he'd ask for drones and like computer parts and that kind of thing, like really expensive stuff for Christmas and birthdays and stuff. And I would always ask for like notebooks and pencils and stuff. And people were like, "Wow, Sierra, you're so." I don't know what they would say. They'd be like, "Wow, I'm so great. You're so easy to shop for. Like all I have to do is give you a notebook and you're really happy about it." But I got to the point where I had like 30,000 notebooks, and had to get rid of them all. And I'm like, okay, I probably should change the thing that I'm known for. So I was like, I'm just gonna like pick a random animal and that'll be my thing. And people just give me gifts based on that animal. I'm like, why not frogs? I mean, they're kind of cute. I mean, and they're different. I'm a tomboy, so it works. Um, so I was like, okay, I'll just say frogs are my thing when next time someone asks for gifts. And I wasn't like super in love with frogs back then, but I kind of acted like I was, which is probably a little weird. I'm realizing now it's kind of messed up. But over time, I'm like, actually, frogs are super super cute, and it did become my thing. In high school, I got the nickname Frog from one of my friends, and she called me that more than my real name, and it just kind of spread, and a lot of people call me Frog. Um, and then that became my online persona, is Frog. But then after a certain point, I realized like I don't know, when people think of frogs now, they're like when they see a frog, they like pause, and it takes them a moment because they know me, and I'm like, just for that like extra second that they're happy and they're like, oh, a cute little frog, that's kind of worth it for me. Just because it just adds a little bit of happiness into their life, I guess. And that's like a kind of a cringe answer, but I was just thinking about it the other day. I'm like, because people like are my friends and watch my content, every time they see a frog, they'll be like, oh, it's a frog. And like actually take a time to look at it and be like, oh, it's super cute, and just be a little bit more happy. People think AI could take over the world. Just look at Alexa. She's nowhere near close to Ultron level. Honestly, with the current state of politics in America, I feel like AI could do a better job anyways. But I'm not getting in politics. Have you ever played Roblox before? I played Creatures of Sonaria with my friend Sunbee before. And I think I was messing around on it with my brother in the past just because it's like, oh, Roblox, huh, it's stupid. But other than that, I don't think I've played anything on there. Not actual question, just wanted to stop in and say hi before I turn into a pumpkin. Love you, hun. God bless. Thank you. That's really sweet. Do you play Minecraft? I do play Minecraft. Actually, if you are on my Discord server, you would know that I've been trying to start up a Minecraft server for the channel. But I've kind of hit a roadblock right now because I have so many projects on the server that I'm trying to get done, like Bible studies and stuff. So it's kind of taken a back row seat, but there will eventually be an official Frog SMP in the future, but not yet. How many characters do you have in total? I don't actually know. I don't really know how to count that either because I kind of fall in and out of love with my characters really quickly, and I just stop drawing them and stop writing about them. I have about 20 or so stories that I'm currently working on, and like in various forms of like being finished. That sounds like a lot, but the real thing is I don't ever really plan on finishing any of them. Yeah. I'm gonna take like a 5-minute break, so I'll be back shortly. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to my starting soon screen, so don't freak out, okay? I'm back. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh. Wouldn't be a stream if I didn't have technical difficulties. Okay. I'm gonna pick up with where the questions ended. My voice is dying, but I have 45 more minutes to go. Oh. The Gothic art can look dead, but I guess it has to do with filters. The churches are very detailed and be very colorful. Yes. Hi. I am just streaming. Is that okay? I'm streaming. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. How did you get into art? I'm trying to remember. When I was like a kid, I used to read the How to Train Your Dragon books by Cressida Cowell. Cressida Cowell? I don't actually know how to pronounce her name. But she would have these like little character sketches, and like they're like child doodles. Like she intentionally made them look pretty bad. But I just thought they're really cool, and it's just cool to have like illustrations in your book. I just really love that. So I was like, when I was little, I was like really interested in being an author. I'm like, I want to write my own books and do that kind of stuff. And like, so she was kind of the inspiration for me to like start drawing. I'm like, I want to do illustrations in my books too. I want to do what Cressida Cowell does. But I don't know. At some point, I just decided, like, instead of just learning how to do art for books, I was just gonna learn art for the sake of art. And I mentioned this earlier in the stream that the first thing I really learned how to draw from was how to draw a manga book I checked out from the library. And I've heard like a lot of bad things about those books, but I actually like I use it probably the way it was intended to be, other than like not learning the basic like anatomy and stuff. But instead of like just copying the tutorials step by step, I would like try to draw my characters, but in the way that the manga artist would, which is probably what he intended to do originally with the book. At some point, I realized, oh, anime and manga is cringe, so I'm gonna run as far away possible from that. And I started like watching YouTube videos and like scrolling on Pinterest, finding artists I really liked, and learning art. There was like a year where I actually like I probably spent the entire year learning like art basics, like anatomy and shading and coloring and stuff. I was really dedicated to like doing it right. I'm a huge perfectionist when it comes to art. Most things I'm like I just do not care. Like, my room could be a disaster zone, or I could do my job really poorly, and I just don't really care, except that someone might be disappointed in me. But when it comes to art, I'm like, it has to be perfect. I have to do it well. So, yeah. I just kind of developed my own art style over a long time, and I kind of circled back to, like, my art looks a lot like anime now. Which is unfortunate, because I really don't like being called an anime artist, but I realized that a lot of the art I reference and like learn from is anime, so it just comes with it. I would love to just be considered my own art style, but I honestly don't mind anymore if someone calls me an anime artist, I guess. I used to like riot when my mom would say, "Oh, your anime art is so good." I'm like, "It's not anime, mother." And she would try her best, my poor mom. She'd be like, "Oh, is it like manga?" And I'm like, "No." I was so mean to my mom as a kid. She tried her hardest to understand what I was going through, and she was just like, "No." What hypothetical scenario do you fear the most? I don't even know how to begin answering that question. I guess being forgotten by everyone is something I'm scared of. It's not like, oh, everyone just all of a sudden forgets me, but like just slowly fading away from people's memories and being like, they'll be like, oh yeah, Sierra, I think I worked with her a year ago or something like that. Like, not really having anyone that remembers me personally, and that's kind of scary to me, I guess. I guess it just comes from moving around a lot. I don't really, I haven't really spent a lot of time in one place, so it's kind of hard to like put down roots anywhere and be like, these people are my people. I just kind of make friends everywhere I go, and then I leave, and I'm like, I hope they don't forget about me. I really hope, because I really love them still, but it's, you fall out of touch, and yeah. I just want to thank you for answering my questions. It was nice to learn about you. Have a good night. Thank you. I hope you have a good night too. I made a church in Minecraft a few months ago. That's cool. That's cool. The time has come, chat. Indeed. That's an adorable frog starting screen. Thank you. What's your favorite story in the Bible? Oh my gosh. Bro, I don't even know. I'm gonna give like kind of a weak answer. I love the overarching story of just God, just like the basics of like God, how God sees humanity and how he's like always wants them to come back to him and like the grace he has. I love the overarching story of the Bible. I also really love the story, kind of the narrative that the Song of Solomon tells, but from the perspective of that being Jesus and the bridegroom and the bride of Christ, instead of just being Solomon and one of his many wives. I really love like reading the Song of Solomon, even though it's kind of sketch in some parts. I love reading it from the perspective that that's how Jesus sees me, and he's like, that's how he kind of like, he just loves me in that like reckless, crazy husband in love way. So I love that narrative too. But I really just love Peter's story in the Gospels too, and how he struggled so much, but still like became one of the most prominent leaders of the church, and still did amazing things even though he struggled so much. Oh, my mom's in the chat. Hi, Mom. I've been ignoring her texts because I was like, as soon as I got off work, I went to streaming, so I feel bad now. I will text you back after the stream. I'm sorry. I'm like, also ignoring Eddie's comments now because that's crazy. How about instead of a new computer, maybe get a new laptop with similar power? I was thinking about that. My brother has like a gaming laptop that he says works really well for that kind of thing. So I was like, maybe that would work. I don't know. I'm looking into options right now. Mainly the biggest roadblock is money, of course, because I'm poor. I just spent like the last year of my life I'm barely surviving on very, very little money. So I'm kind of like, now I'm working and trying to earn up money for stuff like that, I guess. The person that was in my room before, I'm so behind on questions, I'm sorry. The person who was in my room before, that was my house mom. She runs where I live. Oh, Bella left and I didn't say hi. That's so sad. Where did you bury the bodies? I don't know what you're talking about. When you're in PNG's Eastern manga too. LOL. I don't know what that means, but okay. I'm sorry, Server Dad. Well, hopefully I'll get to know you better in due time so you won't be forgotten. Aw. Thank you, Bread. Bye, Joshua. Thank you for joining the stream. Oh, wait, a gaming laptop? Yes, brother, get that. I don't know, like, how well that would do with streaming. Like, I'd have to, like, look into that kind of stuff. I don't really know a lot about computers. All I know is that everything I own, so, like, I don't know. I got, like, a very new model phone, and then, like, immediately after I got it, it slowed down and, like, acts like my old phone. I don't know if it's just me or I have too high expectations of things, but everything I own just feels like to get worse immediately as soon as I own it. Your brother made a good suggestion. Ooh, house one cool. Where's Toad Dander? I'd refuse to answer that question. Okay, I'm now leaving for real. Okay, bye, Bella. Love you, girl. I know you probably answered my question about if you're a writer, but you could answer it again. I am a writer, but I don't publish anything. I don't publish any of my works. I just do it for fun. And I don't consider myself, like, an expert at writing. I just enjoy it. It's just, like, a way that I just love, like, writing down the stories that come up for my characters. So, yeah. I guess I'm a writer and I'm also not. Have you heard of Gibeah Crimes, the Old Testament, in Judges? I've read Judges before, but I don't remember that. I can look into it later, though. No, trust me, they make gaming laptops to run the most highest at the end of games and even streaming 100%, that's it right there. Okay. That actually would be pretty perfect for me if I could find a good gaming laptop, because I travel a lot, and I don't want to, like, have to carry around a PC everywhere I go. So I'll definitely look into that in the future. LOL, no worries. It was a Papa Any Western anime joke. Oh, I get it now. I'm sorry. Did you answer this? I wasn't here. The thing is, I want to start art, no knowledge of how to draw, but don't know where to begin. I think if you, like, literally have no experience with drawing at all, like, you've never drawn anything in your life, tracing art, I know it sounds really bad, but tracing art is a good way to start. Of course, don't post it online and say, hey, I did this all by myself. Like, give credit, or just don't post it online at all. But if you find, like, an artist you really like, and their art is just beautiful, especially, like, if you're studying line work and that kind of thing, like, just trace over their drawing. It helps you learn, like, how to do it. It'll give you, like, a basic crash course in anatomy. It'll teach you how to do line work better. Watch a lot of tutorials. There's a lot of tutorials out on the internet that just, like, have, like, tips for beginner artists, like how to begin, stuff like that. I said it before, find something you love to draw, whether that's, like, your characters, whether that's media, fan art, whatever. Find something you really love to draw and you're never gonna give up on drawing. Yeah, those are just 3 tips. I have more, but I don't want to, like, get stuck on this question again, I'm sorry. Gaming laptops can also overheat easier. That's true. I don't know, dude. I'll do more research on my own time. We don't have to talk about this in my stream. There can't be a favorite book of the Bible because they all have something important to teach us. That's true. But I feel like in different seasons of your life, like, different parts of the Bible can speak to you more. Like, God could be speaking to you through certain passages or even books. more than other parts of the Bible, I guess. What are your thoughts on pixel art? I admire the living daylights out of every pixel artist I ever see because I cannot do it for my life. I have tried pixel art in the past and I am terrible at it. I have no clue how to even, like, the basics. I don't even know how to do it at all. So I have, like, a huge amount of respect for pixel artists. They're insane at what they do, and I admire them a lot. What do you mainly like to draw, and what is your favorite TV show? I mainly like to draw my own characters, which you've probably seen if you've been on my channel at all. I love to draw my OCs. I also like to draw myself because I'm a narcissist a little bit. But I honestly really love my character design, and I just like, I don't know, I love drawing myself, I guess. Which is good because I draw myself a lot for my YouTube channel. My favorite TV show? I don't know, dude. It would have to be an anime right now because that's all I've been watching recently. With my friends, I've been watching anime. Probably like, oh wait, I forget what it's called. It's like Seventh Time Loop or something like that. I think that's what we've been watching recently. I really like that one. I think we all know where Todander is. It ain't oh my gosh. Bro. But me too, I'm a little bit of both, with lots of unfinished fics, and I would like some help with my story if I'm willing to shed some sage advice. I'm sorry, dude. I don't feel like I'm qualified at all to, like, give advice on writing. I'm sorry. I'm not. The only thing I know about writing is stuff that my mom has taught me, because she's an English teacher. I don't know the first thing about how to write books. I'm sorry. Do you think we're in the end times, like, religiously? I don't have an opinion on that, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised if we were, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we weren't. Because since, like, even since, like, weeks after Jesus' resurrection, people have been like, oh, it's the end of days, we're all gonna get, like, taken away soon. And honestly, like, whoever the Antichrist is, I feel like we're gonna know when he appears, because if Hitler wasn't the Antichrist, then what the heck? Maybe I shouldn't say that on stream, I'm sorry. That's how I get demonetized. But yeah, I don't have an opinion either way. I would love to have a chance to, like, have a family and, like, get married and that kind of thing before Jesus comes back and, like, we have bigger fish to fry. But honestly, I would not be upset if he came back today, because, you know, I'm waiting for heaven, dude. This world is so nuts. Gotta get to dinner now. Take care and God bless. Okay, bye, Bread Panda. Honestly, I disagree. You can have a favorite story of the Bible and still recognize the lessons each one has. Yeah, I think God can speak to you differently. Like, every person, God speaks to you differently. So. Isn't pixel art just digital blocks stacked together? I guess so, dude. I don't know. I feel like my little amphibian brain can't handle pixel art. What's your favorite anime series? I think I said Seventh Time Loop. I also really love Frieren. Like The Journey Beyond, I think it was, or The Journey After, something like that. I love A Sign of Affection. That one's really cute. Left-handed or right-handed? I'm right-handed because I'm basic vanilla girl. But recently I injured my right hand, so I'm more left-handed than I was before. I can do a lot of things with my left hand now because I've been, like, having to. I still can't write with my left hand though. I can't, like, draw or write with my left hand. Did you know that half a person is human and the other half is also human? I did not know that. Wow. You should draw a silly cat and post it, please. I can't draw anything right now. My drawing tablet makes my computer really slow while I'm streaming, apparently. So I'm not gonna be able to do drawing streams anymore. So that's nice. So I can't draw it right now, but I always draw silly cats. So maybe next time I draw one, I'll post it. I am live. I am alive. Yes. I have 30 more minutes left of the stream, so you're not too late. No worries, I'm just dealing with a massive writer's block, so I've been drawing my characters in hopes something clicks. And I'm stubborn to heaven, but I need fresh perspectives. That's fair, honestly. I'm not the best person to ask for that kind of thing because I'm really busy as it is. It's not like, oh, I'm a massive YouTuber, I'm not gonna spend time with you. It's just I literally don't have the time. Every waking moment is taken up by something right now, so if you, promoting my Discord server, if you join my Discord server, there's a lot of really awesome writers in there. We actually have, like, we have, like, every 3 weeks we have a writing competition. There's some really, really good writers. Like, my jaw was on the floor, some of the stories I've read from that competition. So there's definitely a lot of people on there that would love to give you, like, writing advice and fresh perspectives. And I think the link to my Discord is in my YouTube channel description, I think. I don't know, actually. If not, it's in my most recent video. I don't know. I'm really bad at this stuff. I don't feel great. Might come back later if I'm still up. Okay, see you later, JoJo. Have you ever watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? I have not. But this one guy at my work talked to me about 5 hours about it, so I know the plot now. Despite not wanting to. But I'm not really interested in ever watching it. It's just, I don't know. It's not my vibe, I guess. I think we'll still live and have families after Jesus returns. Let's continue living under better management. There's like a verse in the Bible. I don't have the reference right now, but it's like Jesus answers the question the Pharisee threw at him. And he's like, no one's gonna be married in heaven because we're all gonna be married to Jesus. So I think that we'll still remember like having really special connections with people, but I don't think we're gonna be, just from that verse, I don't think we're gonna be like husband and wife in heaven. And I don't know if we're gonna be able to have kids in heaven. Like, are we able to start families in heaven, kind of thing? You know, like, how does that even work? So I just want a chance. If that isn't possible in heaven, I want it to be possible for me here. I'm like, yeah, I don't want Jesus to come back too soon because I wanna get married and have kids. I have 4 immortal elves just floating around and no story. That's very real. I have some of those characters too. Draw silly cats to post, please. I already answered your question, dude. Chill. We love writer's block. We do. Have you ever seen M. Night Shyamalan movie Signs? It's a very good Christian movie about faith. Midnight Shyamalan movie? I don't know how to read that comment, but it doesn't ring a bell to me at all, so I don't think so. Joining now just because I promoted it. Yay, it worked! A new person on my Discord server. Woo! Poor soul learned about JoJo against her will. God, you have no idea. There's this guy who will, like, if you, like, look him in the eye, he will spend the next 5 hours explaining an anime or video game to you. Like, he's nuts. And I was just there, like, not able to get my word in edgewise, just listening to the entire plot of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and I'm like, I was just done. I was, like, so tired at the end of the day. I was out of it. Could I maybe try to make your character in pixel art? I would love that, bro. That'd be so cool. That would be insane. I'm like, anytime someone wants to draw my character, I am like ecstatic because I don't know, dude. I just love how people draw my character. It's so cool. It also makes me feel like a cool grown-up person, grown-up YouTuber. I would really appreciate it. I watched the full thing and it was amazing, and all because of adopted blonde kid kicked another kid's dog. Interesting. From what I've seen of, like, the art, it's just not my style. When I, like, watch anime and that kind of thing, the art style doesn't really matter to me. Like, if it's just bad or not my vibe, I don't enjoy it, even if the plot's really good. So that would be, like, yeah. My one complaint with what I know about it so far is I wouldn't enjoy the art at all. I think we'll still be on Earth after Christ's return. There's mention of New Jerusalem being the seat of power of the world with something different heaven. Yeah, I believe when it says like there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, that means like the earth we live in now will be there, but just like the way it was always supposed to be. I actually have like I don't know if you call it a headcanon or a theory or whatever, that like cities and stuff will still exist. It'll just be the way that, the best way possible that they exist, I guess. Like, it'll be God's way of doing things. Just a really, like, beautiful, redeemed world. So I think, like, Earth and animals and stuff will be the same, just will be better, I guess. That's my theory, at least. That's just how I interpret, like, a lot of scripture that has to do with that. Have you ever learned anything about self-defense, like guns or karate or something akin to that? I haven't shot a gun in a long time. I'm gonna, like, this stream is doomed. Okay, this stream is already doomed. I don't even care about demonetization anymore. I have shot a gun before. It was a while ago, but I was, if I'm allowed to brag a little bit, I was a crack shot. I was, like, really good at it. Especially the rifle I shot. I was very good at it. So, I don't have official gun training. I did do, like, a self-defense course, but it was never, like, karate or anything. We just did self-defense and, like, how to be smart in public and don't get kidnapped, that kind of thing. Yeah. Are you gonna do a face reveal? Bro, I already did a face reveal. I mean, it's not too hard to find, it's not too hard to find a picture of my face. Well, it might be now. I think there's a video still up on my YouTube channel that has my face in it. But it's definitely on the internet, and it's easy to find. It's actually pretty easy to find my last name too, if you really look for it. So, I'm not super secretive. I'm probably a little bit too careless with that kind of stuff, but yeah. Frog, please tell me my long rants and DMs aren't exhausting you like that. It's okay, bro. I mean, you're my friend, so it's fine. This is another level of rant, like, where I wasn't able to, like, even say a word, and anytime I tried to change the topic, he would get upset. It's a different level of crazy, dude. I'm not ashamed to admit this, but do you think it's weird to have crushes on animated fictional characters? I think you're allowed to be attracted to them and be like, dang, that person, if that person was real, that'd be so cool. But I think, like, I don't know, there's, like, a point where it becomes weird, like, okay, dude, chill. I've definitely had crushes on fictional characters before. I spend enough time on the internet and watching anime that it's bound to happen. And I have gotten to the point where it was definitely weird, like, okay, this needs to stop. I don't know, I think it's something you need to ask God about, not me. I'm not the all-knowing frog. But personally, I don't find it weird, up to a certain point. Murica, how not to get kidnapped, step 1, don't go outside. I mean, I'm winning at that one, I guess. I never go outside. I don't remember what color grass is anymore. It will not let me join, the code might be expired. I swear I'm so bad at this technology thing. I'll post, like, a better link, like, after the stream is done. I'll try to remember to do a little community post with a better link to Discord. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best most of the time. Most of the time. Some of the time I'm just lazy, and I don't do things the right way because I don't care. If you could have a superpower, what would you have? Probably flight. I would love to fly in real life. Like, dude, that'd be so cool. Actually, yeah, 100% flight. I said probably the first time because there's another superpower, like, being able to, like, anything I draw becomes reality. That would be pretty cool, but honestly, you know what, flight. I just want to go flight. Favorite anime, and what anime would you recommend to people who might not have watched it? I think I already answered the favorite anime thing. I said, right now, it's Seventh Time Loop. That's the one I really like right now, but it changes every time I watch a new one. One I would recommend to people who haven't watched anime before is definitely Spy X Family. That's how I got into anime. It was kind of my little introduction. I feel like anime has, like, a certain, like, reputation amongst people who don't watch it. It's just kind of like that weird, cringy stuff. And Spy X Family is genuinely a really good show, and, like, everyone can enjoy it. It's just a really good show. So yeah, I would recommend watching that one first to anyone who's never watched anime before, because it's a good, like, a little good introduction, that there is good anime out there, you just have to find it. Honestly saw the cute frog and showed up, then realized it's a nice Christian artist. Aww. Welcome to the stream. Favorite US president? Mine is Theodore Roosevelt. He was an avid outdoorsman. Theodore Roosevelt is up there. I think George Washington is my favorite, though. He's just a really cool guy. Like, everything I've read about him, I'm like, dang, this guy was like the definition of manly. He was crazy, dude. I just love reading about George Washington because he's really funny. I'm not sure if I handled my affections for the fiction character correctly, but for me, if I had a character I liked, I made its character and created a story. I mean, I don't know, dude. That's between you and God. I can't answer. Yeah. For flight, would it be cooler to have wings or to levitate? Definitely have wings. I think just like, I don't know. I could like almost imagine how it would feel to like have wings that would like have the muscles that would push you up into the air. I don't know, just like that like solid feeling of like propelling yourself into flight just would be really cool. That's like the most unhinged thing I've probably ever said. But like I can almost imagine what it'd feel like to have wings, and I'd be like, I want that so badly. Okay, I've got to get out of here now. For now, have a great night, Frog and Chat. Bye on the way. Bye, Server Dad. But don't worry about the line. Take your time. This is a small pseudoscience personality test if you want to do it. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Maybe I just can't see the link. I don't know. If you're picking flight, you should choose gravity. It gives you extra abilities. I guess so. I'm not going for the best or like most efficient skill or like how many things can I cover with this one skill. I just really like the idea of being able to fly. I'm not like it's completely a feelings-based decision, not a logic-based decision. Question 1 is what color is your favorite, and give 3 personal reasons why. I guess like the obvious answer would be green. I really like the color green, but I also really love like if you look into the background of the stream, like that golden color there, and then that kind of like tealish greenish blue in the water. Those are also some of my favorite favorite colors. I don't know why. For green, I think my reason why I love it is just because of plants and like life and just there's certain colors of green that you can like almost smell, you know, like the evergreen green and like just like alive and full of vibrancy. Like I really love green because of that. I think gold because of sunlight. I just really love like sunlight when you're like out and sitting in the sun and just like yeah. When it's not too hot out and you can just sit out in the sun and sunbathe and warm up in the sun, kind of like a little lizard on a rock. That's why I like that color. For the tealish, greenish, like bluish color, I don't really have a reason. It's just really pretty. I love how like it like complements like yellow and orange and stuff. It's just a pretty color. Question 2, what animal is your favorite? And give 3 reasons why. Frog is my favorite animal. Although sometimes a cat will take first place. If I'm like around a cat, I'll be like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing that's ever existed. I'm very much a cat person. But I answered this question before, but frog's my favorite animal because of it kind of like helps people have a little bit more happiness in their life because they'll stop and pause. If they know me, they'll stop and pause every time they see a frog and be like, oh, cute frog, and then they'll give them a little bit of happiness. What body of water is your favorite, and give 3 personal reasons why. I've been failing on the 3 personal reasons thing, but it's okay. I really love the ocean, but I'm also scared of the ocean. I don't know. Like, I don't like having deep water beneath me, but I also think it's a really cool experience. I guess it's like a lot of the things with me that I'm scared of. If I'm scared of something, but I push through the fear and like still do it, like heights or the ocean or anything like that, then it's really a lot of fun for me. If I can push through fear and like defeat it, it's like, yeah, I'm so cool. I'm swimming in the ocean or I'm standing on top of this really high building. So I guess, yeah. But I love the ocean just because I spent a lot of my childhood near the ocean in Papua New Guinea. Or I guess 9 months near the ocean. It wasn't a lot of time, but it was like a significant part of my childhood. Just how beautiful it was and just like swimming. It's really good. Really cool. What's your Discord character list for? I'm not answering that question, Candy. You'll find out. You got hit by a car when you're 8 years old? Yeah, I did. I'm planning on making a longer video talking about that in the future. It's another video I'm like waiting for me to be ready before I talk about it. Yeah. What are the best tips for standing on your faith and evangelizing? I think number one tip is make sure your relationship with God is okay before you start sharing with other people. Not to say that like you need to have a perfect standing to start telling people about God and like evangelizing. I think that that's every Christian's role, is to share the faith. But if you want to be like firm in your faith, be firm in your faith, I guess. Focus on your relationship with God. Yeah, just focus on how you see yourself, how God sees you, all that kind of thing. Just really like work on self-improvement, I guess. And then it'll just come like naturally, just follows that you want to share. Like if you have a really good relationship with God and you just absolutely love him, you're going to tell as many people about him as possible. It just becomes a natural part of your life. She wrote an essay on it when I was 8. It's on her community post. I did? Wait, I posted that? Bro, I don't even remember. Frog is my favorite color. Yeah. What's your thoughts on how easy it is to equate sin with addiction? A lot of secular methods to fight against addiction are so much what we were taught to fight against temptations. I'm not entirely certain how to answer that question. I feel like people, like the secular world realizes that there's something wrong. Like, they recognize sin, even though they might deny some sins, like sexual immorality and that kind of thing. They might deny that as a sin, but other things they realize are really bad for you, like drugs and drinking and stuff. I don't know, dude. I don't really know how to answer that question. I feel like you were just stating your opinion when you asked that. I don't know, dude. I think we have a better understanding of addiction and sin than most people do, like the secular world does, and so we're better equipped to deal with it. So I feel like it's our responsibility to deal with it, since we know how to deal with it better. I don't know if that makes sense. Thalassophobia, the bane of my bravery. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. It's like scared of the void, fear of the void, or something like that. The ocean is my enemy. I went swimming one day and I got smacked by a wave, got up and smacked by a wave again. I strongly dislike the ocean. Where I lived, for 9 months in Papua New Guinea, we were on the sea cliff and it took about an hour to walk to the water, which was maybe like 300 feet away. It was not very far away, but you're on a sea cliff, so you have to like go down this very steep, treacherous trail down to the ocean. And it was this old coral reef, just full of sea urchins, and about maybe a foot of water at most above, the sea urchins. So not a lot of space to swim around in, and very, very rough water. There were like a few like little, actually bomb shells from World War II, like, or bomb holes from World War II where the coral had been like bombed out. We could swim around in those. But if we actually wanted to be like in the ocean, we had to like very carefully swim out past over these massive sea urchins, like thousands and thousands of sea urchins. And then we finally after like struggling and fighting for our lives and nearly drowning like 5 times, make it out to the deep water, and the coral reef just dropped off, like this dead coral reef just dropped off straight into like endless water. So that was terrifying for me, but also exhilarating. Whenever I would never really go out with my family because my family was much braver than I was. They would go out to the drop off, but I would just stay on the beach most of the time. But whenever I did go out to the drop off, I'd be like, wow, I made it, I'm so cool, even though I nearly died and I'm full of sea urchin spines, and it was like the worst ordeal of my life. I finally made it. Subnautica made me both love and fear deep waters. Fair enough. I've never played Subnautica, but I would love to. What's your dream job? Right now, my dream job is probably being a full-time YouTuber. I found, in the last few weeks, I found a passion for YouTube that I didn't have before. And it's more like, I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do. I don't have to, like, fit a schedule. I don't really even need to fit, like, a niche. If I want to stream a Q&A one day, I can stream a Q&A one day. Like, I don't have to be, like, I'm not accountable to anyone for really what I do on here. I can have fun. And that's not always the best practice to have with YouTube. Like, you should try to follow a niche and try to be disciplined. But for me, I've discovered there's a lot of, like, things that I can do on YouTube that I enjoy, and I can have fun doing. So right now, my dream job is probably full-time YouTuber. I don't know if that's ever gonna happen or if that's God's will for my life. If that's like what He wants me to do. So I'll get back to him. But right now, I would just absolutely love to be a full-time YouTuber. What was a childhood fear you had? For example, the dark, maybe imaginary monsters, etc. So I'm still trying to I'm still figuring this out myself, but I feel like how I understand it is that I can sense spiritual presence a little bit. I'm not like very good at it yet, and it's not always like on, but like when the Holy Spirit's in a room, I'm like, oh, I can feel like shivers on my spine, I know the Holy Spirit's here. Or when there's like demonic presence around, sometimes I can tell. I can be like, oh, something's not right here, I don't feel good about this. And I feel like that was a whole lot more defined when I was a kid, but I never really knew how to process it. So I would like walk into places and be like, I'm terrified, there's a monster here, like in broad daylight, like not even at night. Like usually kids are scared of monsters at night, but I'd be like, there's a monster here, I'm gonna get killed, and I would be terrified in broad daylight walking to like a store or something. So I feel like I was aware of demonic presences before I even really understood what that even meant as a kid. So I would just be unirrationally, there was like, I don't know, there'd be like times where I would be scared of like a monster being in a toilet or something like that, like something really crazy. But I feel like now I'm looking back, I'm like, okay, I was probably seeing things or feeling things that other people just weren't aware of. Yeah, I don't know, that's not really an irrational fear, I guess, but jaw. I think you love Soma Kurgs. It's similar but has a different concept in grand scale. A Subnautica? Or what? What are thoughts on the 1975 classic Jaws, and would you ever watch it while swimming? I've never watched Jaws. I don't plan to because I don't need more fear of the ocean. And no, I would never watch it swimming. I would have a panic attack probably and drown. Which Bible character, not Jesus, would you most like to go back to meet? I think Paul, probably. It would just be really cool to hang around with Paul and just like learn from him. I feel like he'd be like a very passionate dude, very excited about what he does. I'm gonna I actually didn't realize that it's almost close to 2 hours, so I'm gonna take another 5-minute break and maybe do 30 more minutes of streaming. But I have other things I need to do tonight, so I can't be on here for very long. But I'm gonna take another 30-minute break and be back very quickly. Yeah. Okay. That wasn't quite 5 minutes, but I'm back now. Okay. Ugh. Picking up where I left off was how do you overcome fear? Most of the time I just force myself to do what I'm afraid to do. It doesn't always work because sometimes I don't know, especially back when I had like severe anxiety, I would like freeze up. Especially like social situations where I was really scared to like say something or talk to someone. I wouldn't actually be able to like push through it. But I don't know, making little decisions that I was scared to really helped, I think. And then overall, I don't know. Yeah, I usually just force myself to do things I don't want to do. And then I stop being afraid of it because it's like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Did you have any feelings of inadequacy when starting your YouTube channel? For example, I'm not wise enough to offer advice or something similar. If so, how'd you overcome them and actually start? I still have a lot of feelings of inadequacy. I don't know if you could tell. I don't feel very qualified for what I do, but I also know that God has been teaching me a lot of things that other people need to hear. And so no one else is gonna say them, so I'm gonna say them. When I started out YouTube, I was really prideful. Actually, I thought that I was like I really qualified myself for YouTube. I was not ready in the slightest. But I think it was good that I started a YouTube channel because it gave me a lot of like experience of what not to do and how to do things better in the future. But I wasn't ready to start YouTube when I did. I was very prideful. I thought I knew better than everyone else. And that everyone needed to listen to me because I was such a cool person. And yeah, so when I started out, it wasn't a problem. The only like roadblock to starting a YouTube channel was I just wanted my first script to be perfect, and I ended up rewriting it like 30 times. But over time, as I've like grown up a little bit, I've definitely dealt with like imposter syndrome and stuff, and not feeling like I'm the right person for the job. I guess it's along the same lines as my fear question that I answered, is that I just push through it. I know that this is where God wants me to be right now. I know this is like his plan for me right now is to be doing YouTube. At least I'm pretty sure. It's hard to know with these kind of things because I'm like, is this what I want to say or is this what God is actually saying? But as far as I know, this is what God wants me to do. So that's all I need to focus on right now, is that this is something God wants me to do. Even if I'm not qualified for it, even if I'm not doing a good job, he wants me to do this right now, and that's all that matters. I'm drawing while watching a stream. That's cool. Honestly, good for you. I was gonna draw while streaming, but it didn't work. Sorry about that. Hi, Gerbly. What's your opinion on leg day? I will not accept every day as leg day. I have never done a leg day in my life. I don't know if I've ever worked out officially in my life. I just, I'm not a very, I'm not a very active person. That's not to say I'm not strong. I still, like, I think I'm a little bit stronger than most girls my age just because of where I grew up, and my body type is a little bit more muscular, I think, just naturally. But I don't work out. I don't think I've ever worked out. Were you surprised when your Spirit and Truth video blew up? I was so surprised. I went from 300 subscribers and expecting about 300 people per video to see it, like never anything more than that, maybe like 10 comments at the most, to 10,000 subscribers, over 100,000 views, and like 300 comments, and it was nuts. I was not expecting it at all. I was so surprised. You could ask my friends that knew about what was going on at the time. They'll tell you I didn't know what was going on. I was having so many like emotional whiplashes of like, what is going on? I was freaking out. I was super happy. I was also like, what the heck is going on? Why is this happening to me? It was a crazy time in my life. That week when my video blew up, I was like questioning everything because I didn't realize like YouTube wasn't something, it was just gonna be a hobby on the side. It wasn't gonna be like a main focus. I was just like, I'll just try again just for fun. But then after that video blew up, I'm like, I wonder what God wants to do with this, huh? Sharks can be chill, I guess. I don't know. I still would be like, I'm still like kind of nervous when I see one swimming. I've only seen maybe one or two while swimming, and very small ones at that. I'm still like nervous. Like I don't want to like upset a shark, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. because panicking is not going to make any situation better. If I saw a great white shark, I would get out of the water immediately. I'd be like, nah, heck nah, bro. But with like little sharks, I'm not terrified of them. I just have a healthy respect, I guess. Good night, the guy behind you. Dolphins are honestly either angels or demons. There's no in between. That is so true. Bull sharks are not chill at all. Bull sharks are scary. Fair, but I think if they're provoked or curious, they don't do much. How do you keep yourself motivated and avoid burnout? This is something I'm still working on, actually. I burn out really easily, I guess, because I will throw myself into a project I really love and kind of give it my full attention and all of my energy, and then in like a week it'd be like, oh my gosh, I regret everything, I wish I never did this. So staying motivated, I just don't do very well in general. I think it's just a part of my personality. I'm very lazy. It's not so much lazy as just I kind of have to push myself to do things I don't want to do, I guess. It's just something I've worked on overcoming myself. It's just a part of being me. Just the problems I have to deal with. As for burning out, when I can recognize now when I start to feel like I'm burning out, so I will quit while I'm ahead, I guess. If I feel like I'm gonna burn out, I'd rather just stop doing what's burning me out before it burns me out. Because then I have a chance of coming back in like a week and being like, okay, I want to do this again, instead of like, I'm never gonna do this again in my life. And so I'll recognize what's burning me out and when it's burning me out, and I'll be like, okay, I need to stop this and I need to do something I enjoy right now. I'll just take a break and do something I love to do, and then I'll come back in like a week and be like, okay, I can do this again. I'm ready for this. So that's my main coping mechanism, I guess. But I'm still learning. I'm still a very unmotivated person. Honestly, I could probably do a video a week if I wanted to. I just don't have a lot of energy to do that. I don't have a lot. I can make time, but I don't have a lot of time. And the free time I do have, I usually spend like resting because work is hard. There's a lot of social direction at work. Hi Frog, I just wanted to ask what's your favorite Christian song? Sorry if you already asked this question. People for good work, God bless. Thank you, Sharkblade. My favorite Christian song. Bro, that's so hard. I've been listening to such good Christian music recently. Let me find my phone and see my like top played. Where's my phone? Bro. You know, never mind, I can't find my phone. Let me think. Think. Found my phone, so I'm just gonna look up on Spotify what my favorite song is. I think My Promised Land by Josiah Queen is my favorite right now. That one is definitely a really good song. It made me cry the first time I heard it. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest one to say that's my favorite. Okay, time to open my stream again so I can actually see what you guys are doing. I used to study these creatures and catch them in rod and reel, working at Noah for tagging birds. That's cool. Bro, that's really cool. You like tagged sharks? I think the only time I got near a shark was a nurse shark following me and my grandma on the coast. Young me was terrified. I mean, I would be too. If a shark is following me, I'd be like, okay. No, it's not okay. I don't have like a lot of experience with like different breeds of sharks or different types of sharks, I guess. So like if I see a shark, I'd be like, If it's small, I'll be like, okay, I don't want to get too close because it might bite my hand off. And if it's big, I'm like, I'm out of the water. I'm done. There's not much differentiation between sharks types for me. Thanks for your answer. God has called me to start a YouTube channel, but I have crippling imposter syndrome and I'm deeply struggling to start. You inspire me. Aw, that's really sweet. I don't know how to encourage you to like start, but like do it, bro. You can do it. I believe in you. If I can do YouTube, a little old introvert me who has been struggling with like pride my entire life can do it. You can totally do it. Like easy. What about poison dart frogs? Do you fear them? If it jumped on me, I'd be scared. But they're cute and they're really pretty too. I don't know if I saw one in the wild, I would probably be like, don't get anywhere near me, but I want to admire you from a distance. I don't know. I'm not scared of them. I'm just, again, healthy respect. I don't want to die. Good night, Noah. Accept the fact that you're a unique individual that is unique through the eyes of God and who paints amazing stuff. And it's so cool with the background in your life with God. Well, you lose some points. What happened? What did I do? Bro. Would the burnout be through bouts of disinterest rather than laziness? It was like a mix. It was just completely loathing what I was doing. Like when I burned out of YouTube, I was like, I hate this. I hate this so much. I never want to do it again. Like I would just loathe it. I would go from loving something to loathing it. Same with art. When I would burn out from art, I'm like, I don't ever want to draw again. This is awful. But that was just because I never knew how to manage my emotions as a kid, I guess. I never like understood that everything, you need to do everything in moderation, I guess. So I would push myself to the limit, and then when I broke, I just like break everywhere and spill everywhere. So that was it was really extreme for me as a kid. Nowadays, burnout looks more like just trying to find anything to do other than that thing. I guess. Like, trying to come up with an excuse to not do that thing. So currently I'm, like, struggling, trying to force myself to edit a video, and I'm like, I just don't want to do it. I want to do anything but edit that video. But, I know in the back of my mind I'd probably just get started on it and just do it, but, What's your favorite body part to draw? Okay, dude. That was, like, the weirdest way to say that. I really like drawing hands, actually. I think just because they're difficult and they're challenging, but they also have like so much personality, and you can like tell a story just by drawing hands. I also love drawing eyes. Eyes are so pretty. Like, I don't know, you make or break a character through their eyes. Like, I don't know, I just love drawing eyes. Show me your motivation. Someone needs to sell plastic shirt. Okay. In your opinion, gorilla or grizzly, who would win? A grizzly bear for sure. Grizzly bears are vicious, dude. I mean, gorillas are also crazy, but I don't know. I would never want to be in a fight with a grizzly bear, yeah. Thoughts on the Hulk? I don't know. I don't really dislike or like the Hulk kind of arc. I think, like, Bruce Banner is a cool character, just because of, like, he's such a contrast with Hulk, such as the opposite personality of the Hulk, but I don't know, I just never, like, clicked with it or disliked it ever, I don't know, just meh. What music genre do you like the best? Or like the least? Rock, or metal, anything like that, which is unfortunate because I feel like there's really cool like Christian rock and heavy metal and stuff like out there, but I just can't enjoy it at all. Like, it doesn't even sound like music to me. It's just like, like, okay. Close second is probably rap. I'm starting to like appreciate rap because a lot of my friends really love it and they listen to it all the time. I'm like, okay, I probably should just enjoy it with them. But I also just I cannot bring myself to like rap most of the time. Yeah. I wanted to say in my scene, but you understand I wasn't serious. Okay, yeah, I know you weren't serious. I just didn't know what I did wrong. Not a question, but I have a band to recommend. They are an alt-rock band named Switchfoot. I've watched Switchfoot. I've listened to Switchfoot before, actually. I don't remember which song, but I remember really liking it. I just haven't listened to anything more high energy in a while, besides like Christian pop, I guess. I've been in a very much of a chill, like gremlin core phase recently. I especially want to recommend their albums Nothing Is Sound and Real Light Shines Through. Yes, I did Tide Sharks. That's so cool, dude. Like, that is so cool. Thank you for responding, and it was a random question, but I'll check it out. Hopefully, might cry as well. Fair enough. Hi, Cow, or Hope for the Hopeless now, I guess is what you're calling yourself. Love you too. How long does it tend to take for you to finish a piece of art? It really depends on like how long I want to take on it, I guess. I can finish art, like a decent shaded art piece, in about 45 minutes just because I've trained myself to do it quickly. Mainly for the sake of making YouTube videos, because it takes a long time to draw YouTube videos, and I want to finish it as fast as I can. So yeah, I can draw art in like 45 minutes, but if I like really spend time on it, like make sure all the anatomy is correct like perfectly, and like do really cool shading, try some new techniques, just like, yeah, like put a lot of effort, it can take up to like 4 or 5 hours. There is an art piece I did that I did over the span of 3 days, and it took 10 hours total, and it's like, I think it's on my starting soon screen. It's like a crop version of that picture, but it's like this landscape, and there's a dragon, and then there's me sitting on a rock, and I don't know why I chose to spend so much time on that painting, because once I realized like I could have done it so much faster if I knew how to draw landscapes better, and if I just studied how to draw landscapes, I would have been able to do it maybe like an hour or two. But I spent 10 hours on that drawing, so it varies from painting to painting, I guess. New to your channel, I love your vids. Kind of an awkward question, but would you press the button? Get the ability to walk on water just like Christ, every time you do it, you must fast for 4 whole days. I think I would do it, honestly. Because walking on water is really cool. It wouldn't be like, oh, I'm like, Jesus, wow, but like being able to like just go for a walk on the lake or something, that'd be pretty cool. I don't know about fasting for 4 days. I think I could do it pretty easily. I struggled with fasting in DTS because I was like doing a lot of physical exercise and like chores and stuff. Like a lot of the chores I had to do were like took a lot of energy. So I was like, I'm dying. I'm gonna shrivel up and fade away. But if I'm like just living my normal life, like working here at where I work now, I probably could do it pretty easily. I don't know. I wouldn't enjoy it, of course, because food is good. I love food, but it wouldn't be that hard, and it would be a cool exchange, just like once or twice every now and then, to be able to walk on water. Have you all ever heard of Symphonic Metal? Is that like Mr. Blue Sky? Like that song? Is that Symphonic Metal? What's your favorite fast food place? For example, Wendy's. I really like In-N-Out burgers. I don't know if that's a thing like anywhere outside of California, but when I was in California, I really loved In-N-Out. It was so good. Is there Christian folk? Yeah, I love Christian folk. Gosh, I can't think of any off the top of my head. Like the Oh Hellos is a Christian band, actually. A Christian group, duo, whatever. They're Christians. They don't like put overt Christian messages in their music, but you know, you can like, if you know that they're Christians, you'll be like, oh, okay, I can see that they're talking about Jesus there, or the song is about their relationship with God. But there's Christian folk bands that are a little bit more like open about it. Rent Collective is kind of like borderline folk, I guess. They have that vibe. Oh my goodness, sorry, I left for 15 minutes ago. There was a cow in my garden. I've been trying to make sure that they're safe and they're gonna find their owner, but crisis is averted. Oh my gosh. That's crazy, dude. Rock metal isn't my Christian band, but If These Trees Could Talk is one of my favorites. It's instrumental, but an emotional, intense, and a melancholic post-rock, post-metal band. Interesting. I don't know, maybe it'll change my mind about rock. Christian is definitely a hit or miss. I listened to a few, KB, Nobjidl, and Lecrae, but granted I grew up on it. It can be hard to find good Christian music, but then once you find like artists that you really click with, it's like really good stuff. I don't know, there's like some really, really good Christian music out there. Like there's some stuff I'm like, this is better than most secular stuff that's being released nowadays. But it's hard to find. Like you have to find it. You have to kind of search for it because it's not as popular. Oh, Christian rap. I'm sorry. I completely misunderstood. I'm sorry. What are you doing on your stream? I was gonna do an art stream, but my drawing tablet slowed down my computer so much I couldn't stream and draw at the same time. So I'm just talking now, and you get to look at my cute little frog character. No clue how I missed a whole word. I'm sorry, dude. I should have read both your texts instead of just reading one. What's your age, and has your age ever been an obstacle in ministry before? I'm 19, so I'm very young. I don't know if it's been an obstacle. I actually feel like it's been a benefit in ministry. Um, I felt like in high school, I was one of those kids that was like, I was very quiet. Oh my gosh, very quiet and shy. But I was very determined. So I would like, even though I hated talking to people, I would like kind of like put myself out there and be like, hey, can I do worship at church one day, or could I do like a little Bible study at the clinic and like teach people how to share the gospel in the medical field or stuff like that. It's completely out of character for me, but people were like, they really wanted kids to be involved in ministry because a lot of the missionary kids that I grew up around just were not interested in Christianity at all. They just kind of, you know, burnt out of the faith at a young age, and they kind of, a few of them are like finding their way back to Jesus slowly, but maybe one or two out of my grade really like stuck with Jesus throughout high school, I guess. So they were really excited to see like a Christian kid like, or a missionary kid like really interested in like actually doing ministry things. So they would always like, yes, of course you can lead worship. Yes, of course you can do this and that. So it was really cool. That gave me all the opportunities that I probably wouldn't have had otherwise. In YWAM, it's called Youth with a Mission. So like you're supposed to be young. You don't have to be, but you're supposed to be young, and so you know, you hang out with young people your age and you are doing really cool things. I was the youngest of my group, or actually youngest of the entire mission base when I was there, because I was like just freshly 18. Um, but you know, it was like really empowering because it's like everyone there was young, pretty much everyone there was young, and they were like encouraging you to do cool things as a young person. Um, yeah, so I feel like my age has actually helped me a lot. My youngness has actually helped a lot in ministry. Do you believe the Tasmanian tiger is still out there? Many zoologists believe it could be living in Papua New Guinea. If not, they're thinking of de-extincting it through cloning. Um, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Like, Papua New Guinea is one of the least explored countries in the world now, I think. You might have to look that up to confirm, but I know there's a lot of places in Papua New Guinea that, you know, people haven't really explored yet. There's people groups that haven't been touched by the outside world yet. I do know that of several missionaries that have seen like pterosaurs, like flying lizards, like I guess flying dinosaurs is not really the correct way of saying it, but you know, like pterosaurs, like pterodons, that kind of thing. They've seen something like that in Papua New Guinea, like firsthand, and told me about it. It's actually like they call it cryptid or whatever, but it's folklore. It's called the Ropin. A lot of people have seen it, so I firmly believe that pterosaurs still exist in Papua New Guinea because that makes sense with the world being like 6,000 years old, which is what I believe. Um, Honestly, I would not be surprised if we had the Tasmanian tiger there. I've never heard of like people thinking it was there, but it'd be kind of cool if it was. If it was though, it'd probably be eaten a lot because Papua New Guineans eat every living thing that they can catch. Like honestly, probably reason why a lot of our species are going extinct is because they just eat them. Um, they don't really care how rare something is. They'll just cook it over the fire, which is really funny. Um, why does the frog have wings? Because it's supposed to be me, and I didn't really want to go the whole way and give like antenna and like little swirly thing on the forehead, so I just gave her wings. So it's me, but a frog. Wow, I just listened to it. It's not bad at all. Very catchy. I'm not really into music itself myself. It's especially country. But very solid. I mostly listen to rap. Yeah. How do you get characters to move in sync with your speech on stream? I'm also a Christian art YouTuber. I'm using an app called the AutoTube Mini. You can download it for free. It basically you just put in 4 drawings of your character, one with just regular with the mouth closed, one with the mouth open, one with the eyes closed and mouth closed, and one with the eyes closed and mouth open. You just put those 4 images in, and then it'll sync up to your voice. You can also do it in Discord, which I've discovered recently. My computer can't quite handle it yet, I tried to do that on a stream with a bunch of friends, but it didn't quite work. But you can do reactive pictures on stream. There are other free programs out there. I haven't used any of them, so I can't like vouch for anything other than Beatotube. But yeah, you can do something like that. It's called a PNG tuber. So if you just look that up, you'll find stuff that can work for you. Hi Trooper Aiden. I'm doing good. How are you? Begets. I also like Rhapsody of Fire and Metal Medieval Theme Band. That sounds cool. Metal Medieval Theme Band. That's like, I could possibly get into that. I know I accidentally sent it, but my favorite Christian rap song is Used by You by Holby. It's very good. Okay. How was your high school experience? I was homeschooled during the whole thing, so I didn't do what people consider a traditional school experience. I did both public and private earlier though. I was homeschooled until 6th grade, so I didn't have a lot of like primary school experience. It was hard for me, I guess, but that's because I just really didn't know how to act as a human being, I guess. I was isolated a lot of my childhood. Not like my parents were bad and like kept me away from the world. It's just how things ended up. I was never really around a lot of kids my age, other than my brother. So I never had a lot of experience with like, interacting with people. So I had a lot of bad experiences in my first few years of high school. So then when I kind of found my own place in high school, I just decided to be that quiet kid that never said anything and just hid from everyone else. And that's kind of how I lived my high school life. I never really made friends. I had friends made me kind of thing. Like people would find me and become my friend, and I'd be like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? But I had two really good friends. I had a friend group I was kind of a part of, but I never really like fit in because I would never take risks in relationships. I guess I just kind of was there. Um, I really regret a lot of the things I did in high school. Not so much like, oh, I'm such a horrible person, but like I wish I had put more effort into like interacting with people and making relationships and spending my time wisely, I guess. But yeah, I was always more interested in drawing than spending time with people or like even my family, honestly. Did you know the cockatrice was actually the Yeekwi, a real dinosaur? I don't believe that, but I'm not gonna get into that on the stream. I don't believe in evolution or anything like that. Or I'm macroevolution. I don't believe in macroevolution. I believe macroevolution is a thing because obviously you can observe it in science, but I don't believe species, like, I don't believe kinds can change. Um, Wait, what? People have seen flying lizards? Hold on. What? How would I learn more about this? There's literally dragons by Tangled Definition. Lizards are the best kind of animals. I mean, like pterosaurs, like dinosaurs. But they weren't really dinosaurs. You know, like the flying things. If you just look up Ropen, Ropen, it'll probably come up on Google. Um, but yeah, I know two missionaries that have seen them and pretty clearly knew that they were dinosaurs. Like they were like, okay, that's definitely a dinosaur. I knew they were real before, but they're still around. I believe so. That's just my personal opinion, though. I'm not like, this is the only right way to believe. I just think that it makes sense with how young the Earth is that they might possibly still be around. Um, and well, for one, the Loch Ness Monster also sounds like a plesiosaur, or plesiosaur, sorry. I don't know. There's just enough stories around. I would look up a book called Dire Dragons. It talks a lot about that. It's a really good book. But I'm not gonna get into this because I'm gonna offend people and I don't really want to like have to explain myself. It's just a chill stream, so maybe in the future I'll explain myself. Hi, Spicy Rice. Do you know the light academia? It's a movement aesthetic who is the antithesis of dark academia. Both are inspired by the imagery, styles, clothes, in fact, to be an old-fashioned student. I love both light academia and dark academia. Like, both are just such heavy vibes. I love them both. So I know they're like supposed to be like opposite of each other, but I absolutely I adore both of them. Like even the music genre, is so good. I love both. What insect is Eury's antenna and wings from? When I was originally designing my character, the wings are supposed to be dragonfly and the antenna are more moth-like, I guess. But I really struggled originally with like drawing like dragonfly wings because they're very complicated to draw. So I'm like, they're just gonna be fairy wings, and just gonna be antenna, and just kind of really hyper stylize them, I guess. Um, There's no specific, like, meaning behind which species they belong to, I guess. Just the fact that I have wings and antenna is meaningful enough, I guess. I don't know. Read, study, and be your academic place, full of statues, library. Yeah. And you like it. I love it, yes. Most friends are not really true friends, though. That's a very pessimistic look out on the view. That's a very pessimistic view on the world. There's I don't really know what you're talking about, Lynn saying in the trees. Um, but I do know there's a bird that has like claws and teeth that still exists, and people are like, a lot of like creation apologists, like young Earth apologists, will say this is evidence that the Archaeopteryx is actually a bird and not a dinosaur, and not like the missing link between dinosaurs and birds. There's other reasons that they say that too, like the fact that fossils appeared along the same time as birds did in the fossil record. Um, I don't know if that's what you're referring to. I really don't want to get into this on a stream, especially since I wasn't prepared to talk about this at all. So any opinion I give is not going to be very well thought out. I just know a few things off the top of my head. Dinosaur cryptid best, yes. I love like looking up like dinosaur cryptids and stuff. Um, here, I again the book Dire Dragons. I don't know who it's by. I can look it up really quickly actually, but that's a really good book on like how like dragon myths and legends around the world are actually dinosaurs, and how it's like easy to like. There's like some drawings and like carvings of dinosaurs on stuff, and people just never talk about it. It's like, okay, this is really obvious that dinosaurs exist along people, alongside people. I can look up the whoever wrote the book though. It's the full name of the book is Untold Secrets of Planet Earth, Dire Dragons, and it's by the Institute for Creation Research. And the author is Vance Nelson, if you're interested. It's a very good book. I think you can also get like a PDF online. But yeah, I'd recommend that book if you're interested in that. Shortly after World War II, as Western missionaries began to penetrate the deep jungles and remote islands of Papua New Guinea, stories of a flying creature called the Ropin, demon flyer. Yeah, it was a stories of the Ropin was much more common when missionaries were first exploring like Papua New Guinea. They're not you don't you don't hear about it a lot anymore, but I still know several missionaries, like old timers, like very older people who say, "Yeah, I saw it." Um, so it's kind of possible that they've already died out, just because of like who knows what, people eating them or missionaries or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but I haven't heard a lot about them recently. But yeah. What's your favorite period in history from Unga Munga times to now? Um, I think the Renaissance. I love the Renaissance. I just love the art and the music from the Renaissance, and just I don't know. It just it kind of hits in a different way, I guess. Flying dinosaurs, and water dinosaurs were actually dinosaurs. You're right, because they had different bone structures. They were dragons, I guess. I feel like dragons is just a word for any large reptile that people saw in the old times and didn't really know what they were. So I feel like dinosaurs could also like fit under the dragon territory. But I think sea serpents were probably like water dinosaurs. I mean, like plesiosaurs and that kind of thing. And I think like the flying dragon myths are probably from mainly like dude, here I am talking about this again. I'm like really interested in this subject, but again, I really do not. I don't want to get into this because I don't know a lot off the top of my head. You should talk about stuffed animals as a fellow creationist. I should when I'm more prepared. I just don't want to talk about it right now. I relate to the fact that you said you wanted to draw more than talk to people in high school. Yeah. I love food too. Would you rather want to always appear when you're hungry, but with one flavor? Would you rather have food always appear? Mana always appear. Oh my gosh, I can't read. I'm illiterate. Dang. Okay. Would you rather have mana always appear when you're hungry, but with one flavor, or once a decade with any flavor? Good night, by the way. Good night, Michael. I don't know, dude. Honestly, probably once a decade with any flavor. I'm fine with the food I have now. What's your favorite frog? That's the most important question. Definitely the common rain frog. Seconded closely by the African rain frog. If you look up the pictures of them, you will know why. They are so cute. I hope you can enforce your relationships with all the social links you already have IRL. Thank you. I'm trying my best. It's hard though. People call these half bird and half lizards cockatrice. Okay. I don't I don't know anything about that at all. I haven't heard anything about that before, so I don't have a lot to say about that. Well, dragons were real, but they were not the mythology kind you see around the world. Even the fire breath seemed a highly possibility, but it would have to be heat instead of flames. I heard someone like draw a diagram of how like certain dinosaurs could have like combustion chambers in their throats, kind of like bombardier beetles do, and I thought that was like a really cool idea. Um, who knows how valid that is, but I was like, dang, okay, people are actually like looking into this. Strawberry milk all the way. I don't know why, I just cannot enjoy chocolate milk. I love strawberry milk though. The most remarkable thing about the Ropen is that the indigenous people claim it displays a bioluminescent glow. I've never heard that before. I do know that they consider the Ropen a demon, and there's a lot of demonic presence in Papua New Guinea, so it's very possible that the two are often combined into one, like, thought in people's minds there. Because the demons are a very real presence in Papua New Guinea. Like, you can't really go anywhere without seeing them. I've never heard any of the missionaries I know say that they glowed. As far as I know, I would have to like talk to them again about it because it was a while ago I heard about it. But I heard for the one guy I clearly remember he said he saw the beak and like the crest at the back of the head, and like the crest at the back of the head was like red like a turkey. Um, that's what I remember him saying. I don't know. All dinos were dragons, not all dragons were dinos. Yeah, fair enough. Enough about dinosaurs, more on dinosaur nuggets. Fair. Nice for you to drop in, Cargo Black. I really enjoyed talking to you about dinosaurs. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna have to end the stream soon, I think. I'll answer a few more questions, but I am like, my tongue is like not working anymore. I've talked way too much. I went like 30 minutes overtime on the stream. I love the Renaissance era too. My personal favorite is the Victorian era. Yeah, that's real. Honestly, Victorian era is a pretty good choice too. Dresses and overall fanciness of it were amazing. I'm researching it for a story I'm making at the moment. I did research on like the French Victorian era, like Victorian era in France for one of my stories, and I was like, dang, I wish I could be alive then, except for like the sickness and how everything smelled. But other than that, you said demons and Papua New Guinea. Care to share stories to talk about examples? I can share one, but I'm not gonna like get into it. I just say that the demonic is a very physical and tangible thing in Papua New Guinea. Like everyone knows demons exist there. It's not a surprise. There's a lot of ancestor worship. So a lot of demons get like mistaken for ancestors. Like, oh well, Grandpa is angry in heaven and he's like enacting wrath on us because we didn't do something right, and so we have to appease him by like leaving food out in the forest or something like that. You know, like something like that. But it's obviously demons like messing with them. There's several people. This actually happens a lot. A missionary will come to a village, or someone will have, usually like to women actually, like someone will interact with this woman and tell her about Jesus, and she'll be kind of like considering it, not really like following Jesus. She knows about him, but it's not really following him. And then one night she'll just get attacked by this presence on her chest. She sees either it's like a dark figure on her chest or just two glowing red eyes, but she has this like huge weight on her chest. She can't breathe. She's suffocating. And all of a sudden she just says, Jesus, and it leaves. Like this story, I've been told this story by so many different people. Like this is how they came to know Jesus, because a demon attacked them. They said Jesus' name and they realized Jesus is more powerful than demons. Jesus is more powerful than these ancestors I'll never be able to appease. He is the ultimate authority. I don't need to be afraid. I don't need to serve anything else. I just need to serve Jesus. And that's like been a testimony I've heard from so many different women. So the demonic is they're not afraid to show themselves in Papua New Guinea. They're like very out there. You don't miss it. I've had a few personal encounters with the demonic. I don't know if I understood what it was at the time, but it was like, okay, this is crazy. Um, yeah. A lot of demons come from in forms of large reptilians, large feline clowns, etc. I feel like I don't know. I don't know a lot about demons. or like how much I can even say about them, or how much we even can know about them. But I do feel like some demons have like a form, and people see them a lot, and you know, I'll hear stories of people watching horror movies and being like, "Wow, that's a demon I've seen in real life," and like I'm like, okay. But yeah, I don't know much. I just know they're real. I know they hate humans and they're not as powerful as Jesus. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk? I like the guy. In the future, my dad might even buy me a Cybertruck. He's funny. He's like, I don't know. I'm mostly for him. He does a few things. I'm like, okay, dude, what the heck is that for? Why are you doing this? But other than that, he's a pretty cool guy. We have two in our town. Everybody says that they're mobile refrigerators. Fair enough. There's a deviant art artist who makes good art and who worships large cat-like demons and claims people are large cat food. What do you think? Dang. Lazy. Well, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if she was worshipping like actual demons. But okay. I think people are normally big cat food. You want to know the name? I'm actually okay. I don't need to know the name. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. I am very tired, but this was a lot of fun. I was talking to Ezio about it earlier. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do a Q&A stream. I don't know if I want to talk about myself for 2 hours. I don't know if I have a lot to say about myself, and I don't really want to come off as narcissistic. But this was a lot of fun, actually. You guys asked some really good questions, and I'm really honored that you stuck around, even though I wasn't drawing, and it's just a frog you're staring at while I'm streaming. So thank you so much for thank you so much for tuning in, spending time with me, humoring me. It was a lot of fun. I love you guys. And I will have a video out soon, I promise. It shouldn't take too much longer. I just need to get some motivation. Bye.